and nothing can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Either way, I follow. No need to say.
Get 'em up. Get 'em up.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies. Yeah.
Bobbledy bop. We're back. Shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love to the feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies, the FBI. How are we doing? Yeah, I'm a little bit behind bringing in some new stuff into the studio, different monitors, that kind of stuff. So, anywho, boy, oh boy, has the internet been abuzz the last couple of days. Why? Well, because I actually had the nerve to start a conversation and ask the question. Is it time for you ladies to share? When I mentioned the whole term, before we get into that, candle of the evening, Le Labo Palo Santo 14, fragrance of the evening. From the Creed exclusive line, this one right here, Pure White Cologne. This stuff is next level dope. This smells like a clean white shirt. So I started off today with Francis Kurkdjian, Aqua Universalis Forte. Ended the day with this one. Why? Cause sometimes you just want to, it's springtime. And it's a nice, the clean white fresh shirt thing. So when I asked the question about sharing, women lost their ever-loving minds. Why? Because for some reason, today, women, even though they understand the numbers, they don't think the numbers necessarily apply to them. And my thing is, I'm like, okay, ladies, you know there are not enough men of the caliber you want. And let's cut it out. You know, I asked a question on Instagram, what do I get wrong? And tell me what I get wrong. And don't come in with the insults and because they'll just actually prove me more right. And one of the things I've heard more often than anything else was this whole refrain. You only talk about high value men. You only talk about high value men. Well, that's absolutely not true. I talk about all men, but it is true that I focus on high value men for several reasons. One, it's because they would be who my clients would be. You need to make a certain amount of money to be able to afford to need an image consultant. The average guy doesn't need an image consultant. And then number two, more importantly, no matter how you slice it, these are the men that women want. So we could sit around and talk about average everyday men, but it matters not, because these men know paying tuition changed my family history by inspiring me to get into tech to 24 years old. I'm forever indebted. Let's start the show now. Shout out to the Count 25. Now I got a bigger monitor. I can see the super chats. They pop up. So, you know, and here's the thing. I heard women getting upset because I don't talk about average guys, but average guys know I'm telling the truth. Average men know exactly what the deal is. You know, I'm out every day, and average men say thank you. And they know what they know what they're up against. Older women. I'm gonna bring in some folks. Older women are mad. Hold on, I'm bringing this on Instagram. Older women and men are mad and too hard. Men want easy women. Men want easy. So I'm gonna put in Instagram right now. We're gonna start with Instagram over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Facebook, because there are different audiences on each. And here's the important part. If you're under 30, so here's how this all came up. When I did that broadcast saying that in China, the Chinese government, not Kevin Samuels, the Chinese government has formally designated that women over 27 years old who are unmarried, they have a term for them. It's called leftover women. Xing Yu or Xing Yi or something like that, okay? Leftover women. And there is a big push to get these folks married. And I'm asking, so I said, what is the equivalent in the United States? Well, in the United States, we have the danger zone. Ages 27 to 35, where you need to focus like a laser on the outcomes you want if you are a woman. I've talked about that for a long time. The danger zone. But there is also an equivalent for American women to be leftovers. Leftovers. And the whole concept is not intended to, well, yeah, it is intended to jab at you. It's intended to let you know where you're at in the market. Because men automatically think that if you're over 30 years old and attractive and unmarried, something's wrong with you. But if you get to 35, what message does that send to men? That you're out of the market. So these are the women I refer to as leftover. And they got upset. Well, no different than when I talk about, geriatric pregnancy, and women get mad when I mention the term geriatric pregnancy. And I'm like, well, I didn't come up with that term. Your OBGYN came up with that. This is not about me. So, ladies, understand something. Turn off the notifications. Understand something. If you're upset that the fact that you're being classified or whatever, you're going to have to get over it, because my question is this. All right, ladies, whether you like it or not, over 35, you're unmarried. The older you get, the higher up you go, the fewer and fewer single men there are. Every woman can't have a man. So I'm asking, what are the solutions? I said, how about sharing a man? Or women lost their mind on that. The funny thing is, older women lost their mind on it. But if you notice that women under 35, a lot of them are like, I've been in a poly relationship. I'm kind of good with it. Because younger women are starting to realize that they don't want Hassan King. Average guys are the biggest supporters. For sure, man. That's why I never talk shit about average men. But I'm also tell men, you know what? Just know what the market is. You get men out here who are average, hard-working, salt-of-the-earth men, and they get shit on just because they ain't driving a BMW. That's crazy. But then you also look across cultures, and it's Hispanic women marry average men. He'll work first shift, she'll work third shift. And it seems to be really pronounced in our community, where women over a certain age, over 40, they ain't settling for, they don't want anything other than what they want. They want a man of a certain economic caliber, a certain social calendar, certain education, everything else. And that's why I'm like, what are y'all mad about? Because we're talking about it. And what they're mad about is the reality that their future is so bright, their career future is so bright, but their relationship prospects are darkening. So what's the alternative, ladies? What's the alternative? Because here's what it comes right down to. Whatever it is you want as a woman, fine. But you got to ask yourself what the men want. And one of the most common refrains I've heard from men today are women today are just simply too hard. Women over 30 are just too difficult. Women over 30 are too difficult. But I'm going to say over 35. Women over 35 are too hard. You're too demanding. You require too much. You expect too much. You give too little. And men don't want to deal with that. You know how many times I talk to men and they're like, I went out with a woman who was 37 years old and I felt like I was being interrogated. Then I went out with a woman who's 26 and we had fun. Ladies, whether you like it or not, you're not fun. You're too hard. Older women are too hard. And see, what you hear a lot of older women say is, I do that because my standards. Y'all want to get out here with these younger girls because they want you for your money. Well, you want us for our money too. So older women want you for your money, younger women want you for your money. All women want you for your money in some form or fashion. That's not a differentiation. Or you just want a young girl because she's naive and she's easy to deal with. Yes, 100%. Yes, that's why we want a younger woman, because they still have some hope. They're happy. They're light. They're easy to deal with. They're not as demanding. And the reason they're not as demanding is because they're not as entitled. See, what makes older women hard to deal with? Write this down, and I'm going to bring in, you know what? Let me see if I can go live on Facebook right now. You know what makes older women so hard to deal with? What makes older women so hard to deal with is the primary thing that makes older women so hard to deal with is their lifestyle. Okay? Let's see. Live video. We're just gonna sit this down and see what happens. Let's see what happens. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. What's going on, Facebook? I wanted to bring this conversation in because I posted on Facebook earlier, and I said, "All right, ladies, here's your shot. What do you say that I get wrong?" And most of the things I asked about had to do with the man. And then there was one person that said, well, the notion that a single woman needs a man to survive. And I'm like, that is simple math. If you're talking about an entire lifestyle, a middle-class woman won't have enough money to live on through retirement. But I want you to understand that the longer any human being does something, the easier it is for you to start doing it. Women today have been single for so long and talking this they don't need a man stuff, to where men are basically luxury items, amenities, accessories, or add-ons. You don't think of us as required. And you need to understand, ladies, that you come into the market with that attitude. And I want you to understand, go to Facebook and look at the comments. See, when I asked the questions on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is a younger, more female platform. The comments on the same question are much more different. On Facebook, it is an older platform. And on Facebook, It is a nuclear holocaust. And you look at the profiles, and they are women 35 plus. And the general notion is, who are you? Ma'am, whether you like it or not, you're going to have to come to grips with the fact that if you want to deal with a man, you're going to have to become easier. Older women are too hard to deal with. I talk to women every day. And when I talk to professional women over 35, you get a laundry list of requirements. And it's like, I've actually taken to the point to where I record some women and I play it back in the session. And I'm like, listen to how you sound. And like, oh, I didn't know I sounded like that. I'm like, that's how you go into the dating market, with your fists up, ready to tell a man he ain't crap. So if that's the case, ladies, what are you expecting from men? So I'm going to go over to Facebook and I'm going to read some of these comments. And we're going to open it up. I'm going to bring in some people from, I'm going to bring in some folks from Instagram to talk. And then I'm going to also bring in some folks from Facebook. Why am I bringing in people from Facebook? Because whether you guys like it or not, Generation X women are part of the conversation too. Generation X women are part of the conversation too. And it is my personal opinion that a lot of Generation X women are messing up the conversation because they come to it in such a hostile way. And the thing is, ladies, we don't care. If you're over 35, in particular, if you're over 40, it don't matter why. Well, the reason I am so and so and so and so, it doesn't matter to men. It doesn't matter to men why you're that way. All that matters to men is that's what it is. That's what it matters to men. It's like, well, damn, well, like y'all got to understand where we come from. No, we don't. Men don't have to understand where you come from. Men don't have to understand any of that stuff. Men are trying to get what they want out of life. And it's high time for women to start understanding that that's what it's going to be. And if you want to deal with a man, you're going to have to become easier. Easier. Not harder, easier. And the women who are hard to deal with will remain alone. Here's the question I ask. Gentlemen, please don't comment or respond. Speak your mind without insults. From your position, what do you believe I get wrong? This is actually a good faith question. I ask is, what do you think I get wrong or believe I get wrong? And more than anything else, the response was, who are you to say what you say? How dare you? All right, here's what I'm going to ask. There are over 2,100 comments. See, here's somebody says, while there seems to be good intention with many messages, the presentation is distorted. First off, let's get one thing, understand. I find it rich that so many women today now care about numbers. Facebook, let me tell you in particular, I find it funny that now women want to get into well, you only talk about one issue. You only talk about a high value, or you only do this. You don't talk about everything. You don't talk about spirituality. What in the French toast do you think one person is supposed to do all of that? Name me one place. I'm not a one-stop shop. And when you do that, what you're basically saying, and I want you to understand, this is what they want you to do. They want one man to come in and talk about something from soup to nuts. You know why they want you to do that? Because it keeps you mired down in the details. At the end of the day, ladies, you're by yourself. You're only getting older and less agreeable. Spinster or crone. Well, you distort the numbers. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, you don't talk about, you don't require anybody else to do any of that stuff, but then you want me to come and talk about the effects of institutional this and that and blah, 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 blah. And then when I do talk about it, well, who are you? You're not educated yet. But the funniest thing, gentlemen, I want you to understand where the next attack is going to come. They're going to start talking about numbers in earnest. Well, you always go over these stats. You always go over these numbers. Well, actually, the number you said was this, and it's really not this. It's bad, but it's that. My response is, why the French toast do you care about numbers now? When you were talking about black men are in jail down low, or what, a third of black men are incarcerated, you didn't care where the numbers came from then. When you were making all these talking points about men, you didn't question the numbers. You didn't ask who coordinated the numbers. You took whatever it was and ran with it. This is people questioning blackdemographics.com. Well, it's really not 70%. It's more like 50%. 50 or 70. The point of the matter is that it exists anyway. You're out of order. Because ladies, you can be right, but you're losing. I want you to think about when I talk to women on the show, I get women who are older. When do you typically see me dealing with older women and they're happy? Y'all are some miserable, to the point now to where even women who talk to women, because that was the next post I put up there. That was the next post I put up there. I'm like, all right, but see, I can handle it. I can handle it. I said, all right, it has and continues to be well and publicly documented that anyone, male or female, who tells women the truth will get attacked by women. Yeah, anybody who tells women the truth, male or female, immediately you're going to get attacked. And it doesn't matter how polite you try to be with it, you're going to get attacked. I could start naming names, but you all know what I'm talking about. Shout out to A Free. Hit the brother. Yeah, man. Hit that super chat over on YouTube, man. Let's get it up. I'm going to bring in Facebook in just a minute because I do want to talk to some women from Facebook. And I asked the question. This has been shown to be accurate, irrespective of the tone or intent. Honest question, ladies. Then who can tell women anything? If a man can't tell you nothing, if a woman can't tell you nothing, who can say something? Who's qualified? And then conversely, why is it acceptable for women to openly every day criticize and critique men? Y'all bash men. And then you got nerve to say something about somebody's tone. And that's what all this came down to. It's like, well, wait a minute. Now you're upset that men have a voice, or men are just speaking their opinions. Now you're talking about the tone and this and that. Now you want folks canceled, but you don't want women canceled. And even when somebody asks you, what are we getting wrong? How we could be better? What are solutions? What I do not see from older women is any solutions. All I see is a bunch of complaints. That's what I see from older women. Women over 40 are littered with complaints. And I'll be honest, ladies, if this isn't you, kudos. But understand, this is what men are saying. That they're avoiding women of a certain age because it's over before it starts. These unrealistic expectations. I'm 40 with 4 kids, but I'm not going to settle. No need to go out there. So here's your opportunity, ladies. How is an older woman or a woman over 30, a woman over 35, how are you going to make it easier? And see, anytime that you hear women say real men, understand, gentlemen, anytime women start saying, here's my suggestion, gentlemen, and I'll be honest. You have to start identifying when women are trying to draw you into an emotional exchange because it's attention. Attention and lifestyle are addictive to women. It has been well documented by people before me that attention is everything to women. Attention, attention, attention. But I think that there is something, not as much as attention, but right up here, attention and lifestyle. And men don't really factor anywhere into this. It is how women view other women. Women are having their own competitions amongst each other for attention and lifestyle, clout. Attention and lifestyle are clout. And the thing is, as an older woman, over 35, how are you going to be easier to deal with? How are you going to be easier to deal with? Jesus Christ. All right, let's see. Can we add somebody in here? More ways to go live. Let's see. How do you add somebody in from Facebook? Guest request. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that down. Whoa. I'm going to pull that one down. And we're going to pull this one up and see how it goes. Let's just see how this goes, shall we? Invite Monique to join. Not now. Okay, send request. Can't bring Monique on camera. All right, well, can't bring you on. If you don't have the latest version of Facebook downloaded, don't request to join. Here's the only thing. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. Women don't like the truth. I think that's too easy. I think that women, I want to hear what women's solution is. Okay, she's not joining on. Okay. Boom. All right. Well, damn, you people are asking to join on, and you're not. Your shit's not up to code. Do. All right. Boom. One of the reasons I don't necessarily like Facebook is because it is an older platform. Folks just go over to Facebook who because they don't know necessarily. In my personal opinion, a lot of folks just don't know how to use the latest technologies. But we'll try it. All right. Well, that's not working. Screw it. Sorry, ladies. Everybody that tried to join on Facebook haven't done an update since Obama was in office. So let's get it, ladies. Ladies. Leftover women are at the club tonight. Yeah. See, why did that piss women off so much? Calling you leftovers. Men who are not married are leftover as well. Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
I might have to.
Yeah. No. Can you put him down or do something? I mean, because that's not gonna work.
He just got excited as soon as he heard somebody.
I appreciate that, man. But I got a show. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay. Let me also say something. Ladies, when I say that your children are a liability to men, this is what I mean. Okay, so Facebook, I'm going to drop Facebook. Here's what I need you to do, Facebook. I'm going to be bringing in calls from Facebook. I'm not going to stream to Facebook, but I will be bringing in calls from Facebook. But in order to be a part of the show, you have to be, if you're looking on a mobile device, you have to update to the latest version of the app, because I can't keep going through people who are not up. I'll try one more time to bring somebody in, because I do want to give women a chance to speak. If somebody asks about a smoke show, yeah, we got one brewing. But the purpose of what I do is not to have ever-ending drama. It's to actually get women to understand what the men they want. I mean, think about it. All right, Facebook, you got to go over to YouTube. You got to go over to YouTube right now because I'm about to end Facebook here. So Facebook, we're done. Come over to YouTube to watch the rest of the show. Okay. I want you guys to understand what it looks like. What it looks like as a community. Put your super chat up here so I can read it. Ladies, if you think that men are nothing, stop warning them. Shout out to LLW213. Shout out to Janisha. Came through with the 20. Raw and Reckless just joined. All right, ladies, if you don't, hold up, let's bring them in. I'm not bringing in men, so you guys can stop requesting to join. Any men that request to join, and the only day I'm bringing in men is on a man's day. So I don't understand it. So you need to think of what the community is going to look like. We're going to have what? It seems cool now, but just a second. Seems cool now, but I don't think people are looking past 55. It seems cool now, but people aren't looking past 55. Because so many women can still go out and kick it and hang out and feel like they're young and look good. But no, ladies. What is life going to look like at 55 years old? When you can't go on all these girls' trips. So, there we go. Boom. If you want to join on and ask a question or interact, ladies, hit the Instagram. What is the ideal woman? A cooperative woman who's enjoyable to be around. That's the ideal woman. A cooperative woman who's enjoyable to be around. A woman who's easy to deal with. That's the ideal woman. Because here's the thing, man. Ladies, men are thinking about quality of life. Don't nobody want to go work hard to come home and deal with you. You're supposed to be peaceful. That's what's supposed to happen. This is why older women tend to get overlooked. Because it's like, I got to get out here in the world to compete. And then I got to come and meet your demand. Instead of you actually coming to try to be a benefit to me. So this is why I think it's interesting that we have other platforms and things, and women are free to have their opinions and say what they want. Yeah, you're always free to have your opinion and say what you want, but unfortunately, ladies, that it's not seeming to work because the kind of men you want. When I sit there, like when I actually have the Atlanta men's group, it's full. The Atlanta men's group is full, and I'm having the women's group coming up. Ladies, you'll hear it from the men yourself. These men are looking for quality of life with a woman. What kind of quality of life do you bring? And sadly, most women bring a low quality of life to a relationship. And then when we talk about it, this is when the insults come. Why do you bring a low quality of life? Overall, the harshness of being with you. The harshness of being with you. think about the some of the. I want you to think about the women you work with, and can you say that you honestly think that they're like pleasant to work with? Do you like to be around them, ladies? A man has to want to be around you. He has to want to be around you, and he has to want to take you around his friends. And if you are not easy to get along with, if you're not easy to be with, if you're not lighthearted, if you're not, I don't want to say fun, then why? Why in the heck would a man want to sit back and deal with you? All right, here we go. And this is why older men deal with younger women. Older men want easy women. Older, I would say men of value. And when I say men of value, that means the men that women value. Make no mistake. When you talk to women, say they've been engaged in this and that, the women, when they speak about men, the men that matter most to women are men that they respect, admire, and are attracted to. Gentlemen, if you are with a woman that does not admire you, you might as well bounce. If she doesn't admire you, admiration needs to be high up. Because admiration translates differently for women. Women don't leave men they admire. They go through stuff. I'd rather give $5 and a penny to the exec. I appreciate it. You have female dating coaches switching sides. I know. Switching sides, what they won't admit. You women over 25 are too tough. And see, the thing is, and over 40, I was talking to women this week. I'm not going to say who because I don't want them to think I'm talking about, but there's been several. You're starting to see more women over 40 in relationships with younger men. Why? It makes them feel, because that's all they can get. They can't get men on their level. They can't get their colleagues. They can't get their colleagues. They can't get their the director or the CEO. They can't do that. So they got to get a guy who's on their sexual marketplace value level. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 52.
52. All right, just a second. 52. How long have you been watching my program?
For the last 6 months, I think.
Okay. All right. Click to start. Let's do it. Children? And what do you do for a living?
I'm a development director for a community health center.
All right. So, do you want a relationship?
Yes.
When was your last one?
Last year.
Last year meaning?
2020.
And why did it end?
Because we were not a good fit. There were some areas of dissatisfaction for me that, I feel, we just needed to part ways.
And you were together for a year?
Yeah.
Was it a long distance relationship? Because I'm starting, huh?
Really,
What'd you say?
it was not a long distance relationship.
All right. And who ended the relationship?
I did.
Okay. So, what do you want from a man? High level.
I think the most important thing is someone who is self-assured and self-aware and interested in continuing that growth. Someone who is intellectual, and I do like to have long, wandering conversations. Someone who's active and likes to play and spends time on, continuing to plastic and not be rigid as we get older. And someone who I think loves themselves enough to be able to understand how to love someone else. And that's a journey, even for, including for myself.
Okay, so one thing I'm gonna start asking folks is to have good lighting and better Wi-Fi. Cause
I'm sorry.
no problem. Okay, so, and then what is he gonna what is he gonna get in return?
I think in return he gets a great supportive partner who is open-minded and I think pretty self-accepting of others and their foibles. Not in the business of trying to change anyone. We meet people where they are and kind of move on from there. Someone who is creative and still is, I think, an active pursuit of.
Are you looking at my facial expressions and understand? Are you listening to the words you say and how they're coming across to me?
Yeah, it's a little bit like, really? Okay, well, I mean, that's what's in my head,
But why do you think that is? Why do you think that's what I'm doing?
I would assume that you imagine that it seems kind of not concrete in some fashion.
Well, I think it's a lot of damn words for a 52-year-old woman.
Oh, well, maybe that's why I'm single. Okay, honest, financially secure,
What does that mean?
meaning that he's able to maintain his.
How much is your femininity? How much does your submission cost annually? How much does he need to make?
I mean, whatever he needs to cover his expenses.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge that. Do you make more than $50,000?
Yeah,
More than 75?
yeah,
More than 100?
yeah.
Okay. Why I'm challenging this, folks, is because I realize that as much as attention matters to women, lifestyle matters more these days.
Actually, I'm a minimalist.
It's different being a minimalist and you make over six figures because that's a matter of choice. Minimalism because you don't make the money is different.
Right, but
Listen to what okay.
I've always been this way. I think possessions are a trap.
You didn't even let me finish saying what I'm saying. You didn't let me finish saying what I'm saying, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, maybe I should listen. Go ahead.
Lifestyle. The things we like to do. I didn't ask you about the shoes you wear.
Oh,
I'm talking about, first of all, even the way you're communicating is highbrow. Fine. It's above average, ma'am. You use a lot of words, and most people are very simple. And then you say, oh, just so he can pay care of his bills. So if I put you in a room with a guy who's an average earner, what do you think average income is for a black man in this country?
I would say probably about 50,000.
$41,000.
Okay.
$20.50 an hour. When's the last time you made $20 an hour? Doesn't matter. What kind of professions do these guys have?
It's run the gamut from artists.
No. For making $41,000 a year.
Oh, professions. I would say maybe not-for-profit, blue collar. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the issue. I put you in a room with average men and you don't know anything about them. So when you say, oh, all I have to do is make such and so forth, that's bullshit.
Why?
I just showed you why. You can't relate. You want a man who's intellectual and this and that. That by definition is an above average man.
Okay.
All right. At 52 years old with no kids, that's highly unlikely.
Okay.
You know why?
Why is that?
Why do you? Okay. The men you've dated, what do they? What if you have you asked them what it's like to date you? How do they experience you?
For the most part, I would say that it's really easy to be around and hang out with and spend time. But some of the challenge areas is I think I can kind of push buttons because I'm always kind of digging into the why of things, and that can be exhausting. But I typically don't have a lot of negative reviews. I'm friends with most of my exes for the most part.
Yeah, I can tell that being with you would be exhausting.
Is it? Why?
Even talking, it's like, okay, you want a man to be your entertainment. You want him to be your friend, the person that's not our job.
No. I don't want to.
Ma'am, I go back to what you said at the beginning, and that ain't who men are. I asked you
You
what.
don't need to be my entertainment at all. In fact,
I don't care what you call it, ma'am. Your distraction, whatever word.
Uh-huh.
That ain't where we are. And see right there,
Okay.
right there, the intent. I don't care. It's not entertainment. Well, whatever that is, that ain't what men are. And I think you know what I'm telling you that. Men are not intellectual, this and that. I want to be able to read and da-da-da and have long conversations. Is that who men are?
No, for the most part.
Then why? No. Don't see. That's some shit. Some make your booty run, so you don't need none. Why y'all do this? Some. Where did you get this list from?
I don't know. I guess it evolved over time, and I kind of narrowed down on the things that were like really important to me, I suppose.
Right. Well, were your mother and father married?
Yes.
What'd your father do for a living?
He was a senior leader, executive in a public utility company.
He was a senior leader. What was his title, ma'am?
I don't know, vice president of blah, blah, blah. And,
What'd your mother do?
she's a nurse practitioner.
What'd your grandmother do?
She's a homemaker.
What'd your grandfather do?
He was a horticulturist for National.
All right. What'd you have any siblings?
Yes.
Any sisters?
Yes.
Any of them married?
Yep.
How many of them?
One.
How many sisters you got?
I have three.
3 sisters, so 4 girls total?
Uh-huh.
And one's married.
Yes.
Are you the oldest, youngest, what?
Nah, I'm the middle child.
Okay. So, do you want to date a man that's around your age?
Yes.
So, I'm 53, you're 52. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to say you because it's too personal. But the reason that men like myself don't tend to date women like you,
Uh-huh.
too much work.
In what regard?
I just told you.
The intellectual conversations are exhausting. And
That's not what I want a woman for.
No, well, everyone's different. So if
No, they're not. No, they're not. See, next week I'm going to break down this bullshit, this hyper individual. We're all special snowflakes. This is a cancer. This is a stage 4 fucking pancreatic cancer that has helped to destroy Black America. And I'm going to go break into it a little bit right now because it is just outrageous. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Well,
Hold on, audience. Everyone is special. Everyone is special. Everyone is the one. No one can be generalized. Maximum options, minimum restrictions, hyper individualism, want to be exalted. I call it queen energy. This is why so many women hate to be called leftover or resist rankings, because you can't, generalizations aren't valid because you don't know everyone. So if you don't know everyone, you don't know anyone. And it is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. You have to ask yourself as a woman, just like I have to ask myself as a man, what do the kind of women on your level typically get as a mate?
You know, I really don't give a lot of thought to that. I'm really kind of focused on me, but
Hyper individualism.
okay, all right. From my
Hyper individualism. So this is why so many women, audience, please. This is why so many women's prices are out of whack. This is why they can all come to the market talking about not settling, because they do not compare themselves to anybody. There's God and there's me, and then everybody else do their own thing. Monday, I'm going to set the internet on fire. And this is a perfect lead in. I'm talking to the audience.
I'm sorry.
Perfect lead in, because this is what it is. This is why when you talk to a woman, well, I keep myself to myself. I don't mind. I don't do such and so forth. So then how? Let me speak to you as a business person.
Uh-huh.
If you sell shoes,
Uh-huh.
how do you know how to set your price?
I guess it would be based upon the cost of materials and production costs of marketing and, profit margins. And, if your marketing is very specific, you can determine your price that way by creating something that someone wants.
No. Okay, and then that's it. That's internal.
Uh-huh. But selling shoes literally in a store?
You set your price on your internal metrics, but then you got to put them on the what?
Then you have to put it on the what? I'm not
On the what? Then you have to put the shoes on the what? The open what?
on the open market.
Right. So if your number came back and said a pair of heels,
Mm-hmm.
because of however you ran your numbers,
Mm-hmm.
it came back and said you should charge $6,000 for a pair of heels.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them on the open market, put them on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
You think those shoes are going to sell?
I would imagine not.
Why?
Well, probably because the way you ran the numbers were wrong. There's no reason.
No. How did you know your numbers were wrong?
Well, on the surface, 6,000 is ridiculous.
I don't care. Doesn't matter. How did you know the number was wrong?
Buying it.
Who?
No one's buying it, right? Is the answer.
Well, you don't know that until you put it on the market, but you know when you put it on the market and you look and you see what the other shoes cost.
Okay.
So what I want you guys to understand is these modern women have been told that they can set their price at anything because of their own numbers. They resist going to the market. That's why they don't like sexual marketplace value, because the market is whatever this is, you put it on the shelf. And that's assuming you can get it on the shelf. If the shoes on the shelf are $100, the only way to sell this is $6,000 is it to be a luxury item, and you have to have a reason. But if it is a similar quality, similar materials, similar whatever, you got to get similar price. You got similars of everything else that other women got.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really honestly haven't ever had a problem dating my adult life. Quite the opposite. I tend to leave. I think part of the reason I wanted to join was to kind of say, yes, I actually do agree with a lot of your statements. And yes, we have to generalize because it's a large population.
Ma'am.
But-
Let me stop you right here. Just like black women are some of the most engaged women, you guys never have problems dating, but you have problems getting husbands. So it's a problem with dating. Yes.
Problem.
Huh?
I've just said no.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to tell you why you have a problem.
Why?
Because I want you guys to understand. She said, I generally don't have any problems dating. Yes, you have problems dating men that you respect, admire, and would like to marry. Because you don't leave men like that. See, what women do is they date men and they think because they're dating the attention, that translates to the man that they want. So what she's trying to say is, my product is fine. Matter of fact, it's so good, they don't leave, I leave. Yeah, but that ain't the client you want. You want this client. You can't date him.
I actually think that the root cause is I have to know what I really want before I kind of put myself out there, and otherwise I repeat the cycle. But I don't think that every
What you really want?
Yeah, I mean sometimes
You got to know what you're worth, what you really want, ma'am.
what I'm
Stop. That's what I mean. It's the hyper individualism. You're still trying to figure out how much I'm going to price my shoes at. You're a shoe. Shoes are $50.
Okay.
So what you want don't matter if it costs more than, if it's more than $50, it don't matter. Get your price down to $50. Actually, you're over 50. You're at Goodwill.
Oh, really?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I'm a minimalist, so
Well, you got minimum opportunities. I'm just saying, it's your age. All women. Man, 27 time to sell. Over 30, 50% off. 35 clearance. 40 outlet. 50 Goodwill. Ma'am, talk. You talk a lot. And this is one thing, this is a problem with Generation X Black women. I'm telling you, and it's not, you're in this group, but they talk so much. And in the 90s, there was so many wine socials and book clubs. They verbally and cerebrally masturbated so much in their early 20s and 30s, and made it between the wine socials, the book clubs, the poetry slams. You guys have become some of the most egotistical, arrogant, entitled women who have no idea what the men want.
I was going to rock and roll shows and hanging out with the dudes. I didn't do that girly stuff. So this is all my own. But I am curious about why women over or in my age group are in Goodwill. I mean, I get it as a generalization. I can kind of see around, but is it really everyone? I don't think so.
Why women your age don't do what?
Why we're in Goodwill?
Because you're old.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I guess
Man, what product on the market
Mhm.
gains value with age and use?
Me. But usually designer products, furniture, art.
With age and use.
Oh, I don't know. A landmark monument.
This is a 52-year-old woman now, ma'am.
I don't know.
But you're not. I mean, okay, you're asking questions, but are you trying to even be serious? Because you're coming. I mean, I'll use this no matter what because you're making my case. I'm going to ask you a question. Your grandmother at 52, was she a more serious woman?
Very much so.
Okay, and why would someone want a 52-year-old teenage girl?
I would imagine they would not, but that's not who I am.
That's how you're coming across.
I was trying to keep it light.
Okay. Reset. What product, when you keep it light, I'm trying to do work.
Okay.
I asked a question. I'm not just talking just to hear myself effing talk.
Okay.
So I'm asking what product gains value with time, with age and use? And the answer is nothing.
Mine.
Nothing. So why is it with women today feel that they should gain value, or most want to gain value, but the ones that don't want to gain think they should at least maintain value as they age and are used. But women, time immemorial, knew that that wasn't true.
Right.
And this is why I want you guys to understand that whether you disagree or agree with my tone, tactic, whatever, when it is far too exhausting to talk to women at a certain age. Because I'm gonna tell you that whether you're intentional or not, there's a low lack of there seems to be a low level of respect. Because when women respect men, they tend to approach them in a different way. Y'all approach us, and you just like you approach me like it's a game.
No, I was not trying to make it a game. I really was simply trying to be socially polite.
Okay, but in order to do that, you would need to read the room, and that's not the tone. And at the end of the day, ma'am, it comes right down to go back to the beginning. You know what you think, but you don't know what the market thinks.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm here to learn.
Well, okay. What if you don't get a man? Then what? Well, but before we do that, would you be willing to share a man?
No.
Then how the numbers going to work, man? Because there are more women than men, and the older you get, it only becomes more pronounced. And the more stuff you put on that list, there are roughly 600,000 black women of a certain socioeconomic status, Generation X, and roughly about 100,000 men.
I mean, I am definitely open to compromise. I'll take a fixer-upper if that's my
No.
option.
You're not going to settle for. We're not settling. Any man, no.
Potential.
No. There's no potential, ma'am. We're at the end of life. See, you're still talking like I'm trying to be. Really, I'm trying to be cool, but I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Potential at 50 goddamn 2.
That's true.
Can we act like we're almost, we only got a few more sunsets? Can we do something? How about this, ma'am? Can you do me a favor? Can you stop making it about you and understand that you're going to have other black people and young black women watching this? And people are trying to get answers like you are.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's all about you. Hyper individualism. That's why I say y'all need to stop listening to older women about advice, because they don't give a shit about anybody else. It's about them. You know what I just come up with? The best way I can describe it is Generation X women really mirror only child syndrome. It's all about y'all. So you're going to settle for a fixer-upper? No. I would not tell anybody to be a man that a woman settles for, especially a woman who has a history of poking at stuff. Nope. But tell me why you won't settle. Why you won't share? Because there are not enough men, especially men who are around your age and your income level. There are like 10 times more women than men. And that's how it is for every group.
Well, first, there are real health reasons. That's a risk factor. So, that would have to be.
So would you rather share a man, or would you rather share and have part of a man, or hold nothing?
Anything is possible.
No, I didn't ask that. I said, would you rather have a part of a man, or have a whole nothing? I don't do what you just did.
Wow.
And this is why
I suppose I would share.
Well, and see, the thing is, what I need you to understand, man, what I need you to understand, listen, I don't know if you watch my show often or not, but I want you to pay attention, because I'm about to cycle you out. Women who are younger than you, who are easier to get along with than you, how about this? Women who are younger have a higher sexual marketplace value. They're definitely willing to share. And that's the thing. If you're a man that can meet your standards, and you got a woman like you whose sexual marketplace value is lower than the market, and your requirements are higher, are you going to go get? Why would you pick this product? Why would you pick that?
I don't know.
Because you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't, and that's the point. Yeah, men won't do that.
Okay.
And it's not meant to be an insult. It's meant to get you ladies to understand that your self first myopic way of looking at the sexual marketplace doesn't work. You are looking at men who are outnumbered by women of our race, of any race. The higher up you go socioeconomically, education, anything else, there's fewer men and more women of every race. You're not going to go get a white man, Hispanic man, because white women are going to make guard. They're going to block you out. You got to compete for the black men that exist, and you got to compete for the men. And here's the thing: just like you feel you're special, so does Alice, and so does Claire. She feels she's just as special as you. Y'all all feel like you're special. The way you get it, only one woman gets the man. Then what happens to the other 5 to 9 women? What happens to them? Because once the men are a finite source, either you get them or you don't. What happens to the rest of the women?
Okay. So you're making a numbers argument.
It is a numbers argument, ma'am. It's finite.
Okay.
And I don't understand. I mean, you went to college, right? There are a finite amount of people who can get into an Ivy League school. The numbers. It's finite. And unfortunately, you waited till 52 and you talk about marriage? That's not likely. Just on the age alone, then everything else. And then you want a high earning man to be monogamous.
I didn't say he had to be high earning.
Yeah, you did. He had to be on your level.
I said
We've already established. We've already established that. We've already established that about the lifestyle. So,
No,
yeah. Have a good one. Yep, I know. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Woo. I want you to understand that is what the dating market is for Generation X. Okay, YouTube. I'm going to need 20 people to drop a $5 super chat. Come on, man. Because I appreciate A-Free and coming through with the big donations, but come on, appreciate you, Austin. Back rent, paid back rent, appreciate it. Come on, folks. That list is narrowed down to one. Ladies, we are simple creatures, not dumb. Stop complicating everything. Thank you, man. Shout out. Women use words like magic spells. They string together any combination of words to get the results they want. And I let it go, man, because I want you to get an idea of what it's like to be a man over 40 trying to date. And you wonder why men are dating younger women. Mind blown. Strictly 302. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
27.
27. All right. Did you have a question?
Yes. I want to know, as a 27-year-old, how do you know when a man that you're talking to is serious? Because, you said that women that are younger have a better chance.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
Serious about what?
To have conversations about marriage.
Do you want to get married?
Yes.
Are you a wife?
Yes.
Were you raised to be a wife?
Yes. I come from a Muslim background, so
Okay.
my parents are very traditional.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm like a hybrid.
But see, that's the issue though. Because if you come from a traditional background, he's supposed to be talking to your dad.
Right. So how do you bring that up to someone that's not used to that culture?
You're supposed to stick to your culture.
I'm not really into guys from my culture.
Well, then you got a disadvantage. Okay, ma'am, hold on. Okay. All right. You live in the United States?
Yes, I'm in California.
All right. Well, if you want to try to get in this dating market, then you're in blood sport. There is no answer, ma'am. You weren't raised to be able to vet this kind of stuff. That's why I asked you. Oh, I'm answering you the question. That's why I told you if you were a Muslim, you're supposed to be talking to your dad. But now you want to be in charge of the process.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be in charge of it. So anything that I tell you is not going to work because you're not supposed to be picking.
Oh, okay. Well, what if that wasn't the case? What would your advice be in general?
That's the advice I'm going to give you. See, what women today want is you want the mating market to work the way you want it to. What are you picking men based upon?
If they're a good man, like if they're just the character, and if they believe in God, like if they
What
believe
God?
in God,
Which God?
one God, the biblical, the same message.
So do these men have to meet your father?
Yeah, like once our conversation gets to a point.
Okay.
Where, like,
All right, ma'am, if you're in California, are you in LA?
I'm in San Francisco.
Okay. So, unfortunately, you are in a position where you're trying to be a modern woman. You're trying to date according to what you like. Cool, but it's not going to work.
But I'm willing to go against my parents per se.
Well, go against. But the thing is, go against your parents, but you're going to pay the price.
What's the price?
Being on Instagram asking a man you don't know how to pick a man.
Oh, right. That's the price. I'm just, I didn't know you were. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, I'm trying to tell you, you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, so what do you?
All right, ma'am, I've already answered. I recommend you doing what you were raised, and let the men of your family help you vet a man. Other than that,
Yeah, but
you get what you get. You get what you get. Other than that,
okay, thank you.
I'm just saying. I don't understand why so many women. You want to pick what you want to pick. Okay, cool. Then you got to roll the dice like American women do. You know? I don't want the man my daddy would pick for me. Okay. Then you get the man you pick. And you don't know how to pick. Most women's pickers are off. Because you pick what you like or what makes you tingle. You don't pick a man based upon anything long term. Okay, why are you asking to be on if you're not going to click here? So it puts you back on there. Well, boom. Shout out to Dexter Matthews. Very informative platform. Appreciate it, my friend. I want you guys to understand. Hello? Oh, my goodness. Do-do-do-do-do. I want you guys to understand one thing, that a young woman, that young woman has some serious trouble, and it's sad, simple for many people. Disregard what their family say to make their own choices. Yeah, it is because it's like, why do you think your father or they're going to give you bad advice? Because what she want to say is the fact that, like, when I went to OU, and we see a lot of women who came from the Middle East or Pakistan. One of the first things a lot of these girls would do is they would chuck their family tradition, and they would just come over there and just go through. They just hoe it up, become hoe bags. And it's like, all right. And then you end up messing around and end up getting run through. And then you think somebody's going to value you? 27, it's already in the issues. But let me stay on topic. Older women, I want you guys to think about how difficult it is. Because a lot of you young guys, I've had young guys like, why do y'all date younger women? Man, we only got a few more sunsets in us. We're not going to spend our time debating women who think men are games. Women of Generation X generally don't have a lot of respect for men. They think they're here and they think we're here. And they think we're supposed to be their entertainment. They don't approach men with reverence, with respect. It's like, ha 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 ha, let's play a game. It's like, well, no, that's not how that works. So now the jig is up, and guys my age are like, man, forget it. You know, I'll fly you in. I tell you, 1099 contract girlfriend, I'd rather fly you in for 4 days. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, my friend. And here's the issue. It should not be, it's supposed to be easier to date an older woman, an age-appropriate woman, because they should be like, damn, I'm happy that I'm not out in this dating market. But I want you to understand how many women still, it seems like modern women distrust their fathers, but they like to believe their mothers. Appreciate it, A. Favors. Luke Hazley, what's going on? Loyal follower. Appreciate it, Chica. Hey, how are you, ma'am?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Your first name?
Alicia.
Okay. It's kind of dark in there.
I know. I went to the store.
This dude, okay. So how old are you?
42.
Okay. Can you get under the light a little bit more because it's really dark?
I'm trying to get
All right. So are you single? You married? What's going on?
single, divorced.
All right. So the subject I'm talking about tonight is a delicate one. The one that older women are just too hard to deal with.
Maybe true.
How long you been divorced?
10 years.
Okay. What do you want as far as a relationship?
A lot.
Why?
Someone who understands that.
But before I ask you that, before you that, I'm gonna ask you a couple of other follow-up questions. How much does a man need to earn annually for you to submit? Meaning, how much are you charging for your submission?
I don't want to put a numerical value on it.
Oh yeah, I do.
I mean, it's not black and white like
Yeah, it is. It very much is. If a man makes below a certain amount of money, he's out of contention. We're putting the value on it, or we move no further.
Okay, but I doubled my income in 10 years and a man can do the same thing, right? So if
I want you guys to understand, I just asked a question, and now what happens when women answer questions with questions, they're being disingenuous to deflect. Okay, ma'am, what I'm going to try to do is don't do that with me. Huh?
There we go. 6 figures.
That can be 100,000 to 999,000.
Exactly.
Okay, last chance.
So minimum 100,000, so 6 figures.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
How old is the youngest?
16.
What state do you live in?
California.
Okay, why would a man who makes six figures, what do men who are in the top 10% of earners typically want in a mate?
So your last person that you had on there said something that I believe is true, and I think that, and I know you disagree, but we are all different. And so some men want someone who respects them, honors them, and looks for the value.
Man, I have almost 3 million followers, ma'am, and every day, men worldwide, I get what these men you ladies talk about. Do you meet them in the real world?
No,
Then I don't want to talk about them because they don't exist. They exist in your mind. So let's be adults and talk about the men that we know exist. Fair?
it's fair.
I mean, if your kid came up to you and you were asking about something and they said, "Well, Mom, some people do it this way," you wouldn't accept that. So what do men who are high earners typically want in a mate?
Well, I said that they want to be respected, that they want to have common goals, share those goals, and kind of build together. And I feel that people of that caliber, men and women.
You need to get back on the light. I can't see you.
Oh, I said men in that caliber and women included, myself included, want that. We want to build with someone. We want someone to respect us, to understand that we were created with innate qualities that are unique to men and women, and that once we understand our roles and who we are, we can truly.
Who filed for divorce? You or your husband?
I'm sorry.
Who filed for divorce? You or your husband? Huh? Why?
Because I was building and he was not working, and I couldn't.
Ma'am, what man, is it typical for men who are age appropriate to want to get with a woman who's already has a prefabricated family?
It's tough. That's why I'm single.
No, that's not why. That's part of the reason. But the things you just said are the main reason. You're a modern woman. You're talking about goals and partnerships and this and that. That's not what these men want.
They want to be respected.
They want to be respected and admired, but they don't want the stuff you're talking about, building and all that. No. Ma'am, these men want cooperation. And you ladies come in and you already have a plan of how it's supposed to be. And it didn't work with your husband or your baby daddies. And it's not going to work now.
Well, just for clarification, all three of my children were from my ex-husband that I divorced because he wasn't working. And you can only be with someone for so long. I can't provide for 4 children. He was a 4th child. That's not fair. So.
Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?
I am.
Okay. What was that? What was that in the vows? For better, for worse, richer, for poor, and sickness and health, to death do you part. I didn't hear anything about if your wife stops working and you got to provide for her. I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, so.
No. But I'm just saying, listen to the logic. If a wife stops working, does a husband divorce her because she can't make money?
That's not the only reason I.
No, ma'am, that's the reason you gave, ma'am. That's not, no, you're not answering the question. The answer, our audience is, see, when they don't want to answer the questions. And the bottom line is, ma'am, because okay, ma'am, if you're going to say you divorced him because he didn't work, did he have a job when you got married?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was working at a grocery store. I was 16 years old.
I don't care. You picked him.
What, when you're 16?
That's what you picked, ma'am. That's what you picked. That's what you picked. That's what you picked. And you made 3 children with him. And I want you to listen, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, men at the caliber you're talking about don't like women who talk like you. Because you're talking about the father of your children and talking about respect. And they're going to look and see how you respect the man you created life with. And they're going to say, she doesn't respect the man she gave the highest honor a woman could give. I'm out. After I hit the skins a few times. They'll tell you what they need to say to get the draws. They ain't going to get it. They ain't going to keep it. Because you don't respect the man you married.
That would be true if him not working was the only reason why I divorced.
Ma'am, I don't care if it's the only reason. It's the reason you put up, and I'm not here to relitigate that. The point of the matter is, ma'am, you divorced your child's father, and you said because what you've spoken about mostly, ma'am, is your attainment. That's what you got. And this you talked about. I need a man who can do this, and I've doubled my income. And men don't give one hot shit about any of that from you women, especially men on that socioeconomic level. They don't get with women at their level. But the funny thing is, when a man is making money up here, do they frequently settle for women down here socioeconomically? You mean a man is up here socioeconomically, he marries a woman here too? Or is the woman and a man up here typically below him?
I would say with him.
And that's what I want you to understand. 40-year-old plus, they're just difficult to talk to. They got to be right. No, ma'am, they don't. Young women don't do this. Earners have always had to settle for people beneath them. And when men did it, it was supposed to be a man's role. Now that women fought for equality, fought for freedom, fought to be able to get out here and work, you don't want to do what comes along with being a higher earner. You still want traditional relationship, and you want your husband to keep up with your earning power when you didn't pick him based upon his earning power. Then you penalize him. And then men see this and they're like, this is why men don't deal with women in your age range. They don't get married. Because you talk about respect, and none of this is about respect. It's about your income.
It's definitely not about my income. And I didn't share personal reasons why I divorced my ex-husband. But let me tell you.
I don't want to hear anything else about your ex. Ma'am, I don't want to drag that man. Look.
So I said that because I don't want to put him under the bus, and I don't think it's.
I will tell you. I don't. Whoa. He's not here. You said you divorced him because he wasn't working. You made money a priority. Fine. You're not married to him anymore, and you still want to get a man up here. Fine. And what you said you bring to the table is somebody to build with. Build what?
You have goals in life, and you can build a life with someone to achieve those goals.
You're 42. How old do you think the man you're going to be with is?
Probably about 45, because I have dated younger men, and I'm like, nah, they're too immature. They don't know what they want.
How come you can't? Do you date men that are 45, 50 who are higher earners than you?
I haven't been dating in like.
Do you date men who, if you can date younger, you can date older? Do you date men 45 or 50 who are at your socioeconomic level or higher? That's a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Then why? What's wrong with them?
I just can't find them.
No, excuse me. You just said you dated them.
No, I said I've only dated one person.
Okay, so ma'am, if you can date a younger person, see, physics says matter cannot occupy two different spaces. You occupied one space on a date with a younger person. You could have occupied that same space with a man that's on your level, but could you get them? And you said you can't find them. They do exist, but do they want to date you?
Where are they? I can't find them. They're not at church.
You know why? Because they don't want to. You want to hear the answer? I just answered the question, but your ego won't allow you. They don't want you. Men in this, men in this position, I've said this so many times, men in this position make themselves invisible to you, to women like yourself. That's why you can't find them. They're hiding in plain sight because they see what women like you come with.
I don't know how you can determine that from 10 minutes of a couple.
Because I'm really good at what I do and you're not special. I've been doing this for too long and I talk to women that look better, make more every day, and this is a pattern.
I didn't say I was special in that.
I said, no, but the bottom line, ma'am, is you don't know how I can do it. Well, because I'm good at what I do. Man, and at the end of the day, you say you can't find them. If I put you in a room with these men, are you what they're looking for?
Possibly.
No.
It depends on the person.
No, it doesn't. See, that's why I keep telling you. You don't, so you mean to tell me you don't know these men, you don't know where they are, you don't know where to find them, but yet you do know what they want. Please explain.
I feel like if I had an opportunity to meet these men, which I went on a dating site for about a month and realized that this is not for me. I didn't even go on one single date. I was like, no. Not because I think I'm better than them, but the people who are on there and what they're commenting.
You don't know them, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to meet them, but you say you know what they want. Please explain.
I'm just saying, I have a hard time finding them.
But you say you know what they want. Please explain how you know what they want. When you don't know them, don't know where they go, and you don't know where to find them, and you have not dated them. How do you know what they want?
I would say that the most positive qualities in a woman of my age
Get back in the light, ma'am.
are desirable.
Back in the light, ma'am.
What's that?
Back in the light.
Oh, is this better?
You don't know them, you don't know where they go, you don't know what they do, and you don't date them. Why do you think you know what they want? And you said most of the qualities in a woman my age. What is that?
No, that I'm saying that I possess, I would feel like would be desirable. Somebody who's stable with a fulfilling career, loves what they do, loves people, enjoys having a good time.
Man, please get back under the light. I'm trying not to be rude, man, but you keep on doing that.
Okay, I'm
Stay right there. Stay right there.
here.
Right here.
Okay.
Ma'am.
All right.
Loves what they do, fulfilling career. How many different times do I need to tell you? They don't care about that. They don't. And let me give you some examples. Here in Atlanta, I'm about to have a meeting with 30 black men, all who make $100,000 or more. I talk to men like this all the time. I have an attorney who found he's a $10 million attorney, met his wife in my group, and they don't lead with this. You are all about your job and your money, and they don't need that from you. So, ma'am, I need you to understand, you don't know these men because you can't find them. So that means you don't know you don't know where to go, you don't know what they do, you don't know where they're at, you don't know what they want, and what you're saying is, I hope what I am is what they want because it's all I got. That's all I got to bring to the market. So I'm coming to the restaurant and I want steak, and all you got is vegetables. I don't care how you season these vegetables, how you try to sell them to me. I want steak, and you're trying to make me a vegan, a vegetarian. They don't want that.
Okay. What do they want?
They want women who are cooperative, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, easy to get along with. They want a woman who's there for them. You have to be split between arguably your career, the rest of your kids. So all you're going to have to offer a man who's at the top socioeconomically is part of your free time. Do you want to share? Do you mind? Do you want to share him? Are you okay with that?
No.
So you want a top earner to accept a divorcee with 3 kids. He gets no children from you, and all he gets is part of your free time for 100% of his monogamy. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Yes.
In fucking sane.
To someone. To that lucky one.
No. Buy a dog and die alone, because you keep talking about someone, and we already established we weren't going to do that. But see, that's your ego. We've already established you don't know men like this in the real world. You keep talking about that lucky one. Why do you have to believe that that person exists? Why is that so critical to you?
I just had this conversation with a friend. We were talking about soulmates, which I don't believe that there's a soulmate, but I believe that there could be multiple soulmates and that there's somebody that matches with me, that complements me, and that I complement. There's somebody out there for me. I just have
Somebody out there for you, but does he have everything that you want and the income included? See, that's the problem. You ladies, so that's the point. And that's why I need you, stop. You have bought into the Disney Hallmark fantasy of one-itis. And the modern women are the only group of women, come back into the light, please, man.
my car just kind of turned off a little bit. Okay.
The only group of women who believe they should be able to be non-traditional women, get traditional provider males, bring those traditional provider males another man's children, and that traditional provider male has to share you with 1, 2, 3 kids and a job. And what does he get for becoming the hell of a man that he is? Part of your free time? Absolutely not. And this is why I want, like, ma'am, I talk to women like you every day. Okay? And what I'm trying to get you to understand is this is why you can't find these men. I said it at the beginning of this broadcast. Older women are too difficult. And this is what I mean by difficult. You don't accept new information. You don't accept new information. You just keep hammering on what it is. And it's because I honestly think it's because you know the truth is out there. I honestly think you ladies really know the truth, and it terrifies you. Because you know that once your kids leave, you know who you are, and you know what your lifestyle is. You know who you are and what matches with that. And it looks like alone at the end.
I don't believe that. I believe God has that one for me. I really do.
Well, don't put my God into this, because you're not choosing a man based on godly character. And and right now, there are 600,000 more black women at this level than black men. So God did what? Don't make God didn't do this. And that really bothers me when I hear women put this off on God. God has never promised one woman to every man. How many wives did Solomon have?
Okay, if you're going to go to Old Testament and talk about,
How do you get 7 billion people on the planet with monogamy, ma'am?
I'm just saying, you can't use that argument.
I can use the argument that where in the world, any monetary system, any system of government, any continent, any time in history, have men in the top 10%, 3%, 5%, 1%, 0.1% been strictly monogamous? Where in history, on the planet?
That's the way it's supposed to be, and you know
It's not supposed to be that way. What's supposed to, no, I think it's funny, man. The women like yourself talk about supposed to be's, and you're the biggest supposed to be. You're supposed to do your part. But just like Eve was rebellious, you are. That's the problem. It's not what men are supposed to be, it's what women are supposed to be.
because you want to date multiple women.
Your issue's not him dating multiple women. You honestly, ma'am, the woman I talked to tonight, you'll be fortunate to even find this guy, because you can't find him. But then you got the nerve to say something you can't find that's very rare. Then you want to put restrictions on it? Well, would you rather have part of him or a whole nothing?
So you want me to share a man with another woman, and you think that that's going to be a respectful, like, submission?
I don't. Well, I'm tell you what. I'll tell you what I do want. What I do want is I want women like you to understand that you already came into this relationship and you shared your womb with a man 3 times. A man is sharing you with your 3 children, your job, and all of your responsibilities and the life you've built. He has nothing to do with that, and all he gets for his monogamy and commitment and everything else, he doesn't get children. He doesn't get his legacy. That is an unfair deal. I would rather this man go get a young wife and start his own family. And then a woman like you, excuse me, because look, just like you're proud of your accomplishments, he should get something for his too. That's fair, right?
I really want him to be happy. Yeah.
Happy is not having to raise another man's children. Man, how much time do you really have to dedicate? A man wants a woman's time. You don't have a lot. So how in good faith can you expect to get a man who's at the top 10, 3, 1, 3, or 1% and give him what part of your free time? If you had a son who was a man in the top 3% and he came home and said, Mom, appreciate you for putting me through Ivy League school. I became an attorney. Appreciate all this. And the man I become now, I'm dating this woman. Now, she has this job and da-da-da-da. All she has is a couple hours for me, a few hours a week. But I'm going to be loyal and committed to her. You'd say, yes, son, do that. I don't get any children out of it. You'd say, yes, son, that's what I raised you to be. It will be enough that I want you guys to this is why Average at Best was so good, because y'all don't give a shit about your sons. Because you're talking about love. I'm talking about is that a balance? You don't love him. Well, you should want the best for your son. Is that the best? You get what's left of a woman. Ma'am, your role on the planet is my support system. And get it straight. The reason you can't get with men like me is because I won't accept women like these. We won't, because we demand you be in your place, because we have to be in our place. We're not negotiating with you. This is a conversation, but men don't negotiate this. And here's the thing. They want what?
I want his happiness to come first, not be with somebody that can just produce babies and he ain't happy.
Uh-huh.
What's the point of that?
Ma'am, the point is the fact that he doesn't even have a whole woman. You want a man's whole commitment. Can you give him your whole self?
Well, if he's divorced,
Can you? No. If he's divorced, I asked you. 51% of men are single and child. 54% of men, or black men, are single and childless. Most men don't have kids. Can you give a man your whole self?
I believe I can.
You can't, ma'am. You're too, ma'am, you're 42. And I'm about to end this conversation because this is why, but I'm showing you guys something that why guys at this level don't date older women, because you're resistant to the truth. You won't accept new information, new ideas. Ma'am, what you're asking for made more sense when you were in your 20s, single and childless. And part of your problem is, and part of your issue is, ma'am, you can say whatever. And here's, I want you to understand, there's a difference between me and you. I know and talk to these men worldwide every day. 10 toes down, I know what they want. You can't even meet them. So who knows better what they want? You or me?
I asked you what they wanted and you said
And I told you they don't want this. They don't want
what they want. But it seemed like you didn't have a great answer.
I gave you
Somebody who submits, that's what you said.
feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. You lose on a child right there. They don't want somebody. Okay, they don't want somebody else's kids. They don't want somebody who's committed to a career. They don't want a woman who is full of masculine energy. This is all you. You have kids. You're committed to a career, and you are hella masculine. That aggression, whatever helps you in your career, does not help you in interpersonal relationships, especially with men who run shit, who got their stuff together. So it makes sense that you said you got with a guy who was beneath you. You still had his babies. And a man looks at who you had a kid with, and he says, how am I going to take you to the partner meeting, and your ex-husband is this, and I'm a junior part, I'm a director. They look at your pedigree. And why can't you get with an average man?
I can, but
An average man earns $41,000 a year. Can you live at his lifestyle?
Southern California income is different.
No, it's not, ma'am. It's a national average, and I'm in California often.
Give me some SoCal salary.
Well, give him some SoCal woman. And that's why I want you to understand this. I want you to understand that the smile to hold back the frustration, because, man, the reality is I was just in LA 2 weeks ago, and I'll be back then. The competition is fierce out there. Why would this man, if he could, let's do it your way. He has to be monogamous. He's only going to deal with one woman. Then that means he needs to get a woman that can have his children and dedicate all of her time to him. Not a woman who has kids, not a woman who has committed to a career, because he's not getting what he's worth.
So you don't think there's men who are divorced with kids that are okay with women having children? You generalize that man wants a childless woman. Like,
They want the men you want don't. The men at the level you talking about typically don't want a woman with kids. And what they do want is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. How tall are you?
5'9".
Dress size.
Between a 2 and a 5. I'm about 4 right now.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
148.
Friendly.
What's that?
Are you friendly?
People tell me I'm friendly, so I'm gonna assume yes.
Are you feminine?
Yes, I think so, very much so.
Cooperative?
Yeah, because I compromise a lot.
Compromise is not cooperation.
Well, I just feel like having children.
I mean, you keep telling me what you feel like. Either you're cooperative or you're not.
Yeah, I'm cooperative.
Submissive?
Yeah, I believe I have a role to do as a woman, and it's important that I fulfill.
Ma'am, nothing you've described today about what you want to do with a man is a submissive woman.
I told you that we all were created with
No,
roles.
ma'am. Stop the count. Nothing you've described is a woman who's cooperative or submissive and childless. So you may have the fit component, the femininity. You may look like a girl, but your software is male. If I ask you what makes you who you are, what you bring to the market, what do you bring to these men, tell them what you have to offer them, and don't talk about your education or your income.
I mean,
What do you bring? Don't.
You're funny. I said I think I'm funny, witty. I enjoy a good time. I feel like I respect individuals for who they are, what they bring, and I like a good time.
Of course you do. Most career women do. You like to be entertained, but none of that. Okay. Can you cook? You got a cookbook?
Say that again.
You got a cookbook?
I have a
Who cook? Do you cook? How often do you cook?
Because of our
How often do you cook?
like twice a week.
Twice. So they cook twice a day. All right, ma'am. Like I said, I asked you, what would you bring to a table and take away your income, your education, and your career? And ma'am, that was pretty thin. Okay, pretty thin. So what it comes right down to is you may be a woman like you, ma'am, I would think might fit what would be considered to be an executive wife. But what's really going to hamper women like yourself is you don't have to scream. You don't have to yell. You don't have to be vulgar. You don't have to be crass. But you have a very stubborn, hard, strict, masculine way of looking at things. And then you factor in this, everybody has a role. You're not playing a woman's role. What you describe is much more partners, equality, mutual respect, and all that other kind of stuff. And that's cool. But then you want a man who's on a different level, and these men want more traditional wives. And they're going to get them because you don't even meet these guys. And these guys have hundreds, thousands of women after them. And you've got to understand, you're competing with the women around him. So even if I put you in a room with men who are at that level, divorced, some with kids, some without kids, they all tend to want the same thing. They don't want to raise another man's kids. They don't want to pay for another man's kids because this is hard for women to hear, but your children, they're a liability to a man, not an asset. And he is going to have to put some money into your children straight up. And then he doesn't get his own kids. So I don't understand why women over 40 don't understand that they got to start taking stuff off of their list. And sharing is the least of it. When have men, you're in corporate America, right?
No.
Oh, okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm sorry?
What do you do for a living?
I said I'm a math teacher
Where?
in San Dimas.
Huh?
In San Dimas,
What's your highest level of education?
I have 2 master's degrees.
I'm a PhD.
Then the math ain't on your side. The math's not on your side. The men at that level are just in short supply. And they're going to get what they want. And no offense, man, but that's a very high standard for a teacher.
Well, I gave you that 6-figure because we're in Southern California, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't date somebody who makes 60 or 70 or 80,000. But for like,
But ma'am, but you may date them, but I do what I do for a reason. You won't give them the respect that you would give a provider male. And just like that younger man, you could, ma'am, 2 masters and a math degree, you wouldn't respect a $60,000 a year man. Women like you don't even respect blue collar men who make more than you. And if you can say, well, I would, you won't live at his lifestyle. And he can't afford to live at your lifestyle. And that's where it falls apart, people, on the lifestyle. You can date, but where does he live and where do you live? You can't go to Mastro's on Tuesday. Outback is as good as it's going to get, and that's once a month, maybe. You live on a Buffalo Wild Wings, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, middle class life. And that ain't you. And the men that are up here, the ones you can't meet, they have their business or the company that they work for. They've got an assistant, which is called a work what? A work wife. Right. They got a wife at home that gave their legacy. They got a work wife. Most have a mistress. Many have a side chick. And the wife at home knows about it.
yeah, you're describing a lot of men, and that's why a lot of us Maybe I need to date outside my race.
No, ma'am. See, date outside of your race. Why do you think men of a different culture are going to be different than the men of your culture? And why do you think the women over there are going to let you take their men?
I'm just saying that have more in the pool.
There is no more. No. Men, the higher up men go, the more race loyal men are. Why do you think high level men of a different race or culture think any differently?
I don't think they think differently, but I'm just trying to have more in the pool. Like,
Okay, what races are we talking about?
I'm just saying, like, I've only dated black before.
Okay,
I mean,
black men are the easiest men to get along with. You start talking about Hispanic, white, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Asian, or other. They are far more patriarchal, far more restrictive. You've got the.
no, I'm saying, like, maybe somebody just white or Arabic or whatever.
They are more restrictive. They are more traditional. You're only going to get more of this, not less. What do you think this stuff came? Okay. Oh my God.
Restrictive?
Excuse me?
You think white? Let's just not,
Patriarchy. Yes.
let's just say just white, period.
Yes.
You think they're more restrictive and more traditionalist?
Yes.
I'm a traditionalist. I want
Then, ma'am, if you were no, ma'am.
to please a man.
Oh my God. First of all, yes. The answer is yes. You don't know what the French toast you're talking about. Are they more? Yes. This is where it comes from. Black men have the lowest standards and are the easiest to get along with. So, and there's another thing. Stop. You're too old to be thinking this way. And why do you think you can take yourself over to white America and Becky's gonna just let you have her husband? Becky was raised to work with Brad. And she ain't gonna let your ass come on there and take him.
All I'm saying is, when I go on a dating site and I click black,
I don't care about a dating site, ma'am. I talk about the real world. The kind of people we talking about don't go on dating sites, man. I don't want to hear any shit about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
so you don't think I can increase my chances of being with somebody if I opened up to myself to more races instead of being so restricted?
No. So what you're asking me is if I increase the amount of people in the pool, how do you think that impacts the probability of success?
Because I have more.
No, math. Do the math. It does not increase your probability of success. It just means you got more to fail from. Because you still got to. Okay, ma'am, I'm about to be done with this. And that's why I did this so long, folks, because I want you to understand that a double master math teacher woman, and you're black,
I told you I was biracial.
biracial. I want you to. What are your parents?
I have a black dad and a white mother.
Okay, cool. I want you to understand that this is why you don't date. It's a mindset. You resist new information. They're going to try to make it work. Ma'am, you don't, this whole dating out stuff, men are more race loyal than women. How's he going to bring you around his family and kids? It's like, hi, here's my wife. That ain't how that works. And then the funny thing is, they are more traditional. White men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern, Asian, far more traditional. Because they weren't raised by mama.
That's what I want, because that's what I am.
But no, you're not.
I'm a traditionalist.
All right. You're deluded. That's what you are. You really are. You really are deluded. Because you can say you can say this, and I want you guys to understand. Look at the sincerity in her eyes. You can't produce the result.
I mean, according to you,
Ma'am, you can't produce the result. You can't even produce a date with one of these men at this level. That's the results. If you can't produce, if you cannot, you have not been able to produce one date with one man at this level, don't tell me you can date them and secure and marry them. Deal with the reality. That's denial and delusion. You cannot produce the result. The math ain't math and math, teacher. And this is why older women are so mad. Because they were told that men should value their education, their income, and all this other stuff, and it ain't what men value. It's not what men want. They cannot resolve the fact that men want what men want, and they are at conflict with reality. So instead of just reducing and instead of accepting who men are, they create alternate universes. For everybody who forgot, this woman was married. She had 3 children. She said she divorced her husband because of money. I evolved, I improved, he didn't improve. I didn't want to pay responsibility, blah, blah, blah. That's what she said. She's dated younger men, but they're not mature enough. And how many times have I told you guys, older women, especially older, higher earning women, have to resort to dating younger men because they can't get older men. And then I asked about dating men at this level. And what did they say? No, I can't do that. All right, well, then, bye-bye. I can't do nothing for you. You can't find them. You cannot find them because they don't want you. Unmute yourself. Hello? 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 You got to say something. Yeah, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. How old are you?
34.
34. All right. Did you have a question on the topic or did you want to discuss something else?
No, not really. I didn't have a question.
Okay. Don't know why people just join the Zoom and don't have questions. They just, hi. There's no need to be here. Then thank you. Have a good day, man. All right. They don't get it. Brothers are the most benevolent. That's why I'm telling you, man, I'll just date out. You ladies think you can date out? An older woman cannot date out easily. If you can't sell it to a black man, what makes you think you can sell it to a white man? Black men ain't trying to have all that crap. Hello?
Hi,
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, okay. On a different subject tonight. What do you got?
Okay, so because of like the people who've been on your live, like it's kind of like got me like in a scared state. So I want to like comment because I like overwork myself. Like at my age,
Okay, ma'am, I'm talking about older women are hard to deal with.
right? And I don't want to be one of those older women. Like everybody on here is talking about their money, what they making, and what they want in a man, based off.
Okay, yeah, okay. Do you have a question? Because, no offense, ma'am, but at 23, you have an opinion, which is valid, but I got to keep the conversation moving to people
I
who
just
are...
don't want to be one
Okay, well, then listen and learn. I got to keep it moving, though. Appreciate it. Thank you. Listen and learn if you don't want to be one of these women. Unmute yourself, Zoom room. And I'm going to tell you, as a man, when I see somebody like the math teacher, I'd be like, man, she's attractive. And I would walk up to her and meet her. And I would think, man, I should be able to date this woman. And we should be able to do some grown folk shit. We should be able to go have a good meal, talk about the stuff we like to talk about, relate at a certain level, get it in, and just be chill. But they require so much damn more. And then they want strict monogamy. Hello, how are you, ma'am? In the Zoom room, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh my God. All right, what do you got for me? I mean, this is an older woman's stream tonight. What's the question?
Exactly. I have nothing on topic. I just wanted to thank you for all of the tips that you've given me over the past year. It has made my relationship flourish, and I just appreciate the work that you're doing. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. See, younger women are starting to get it. See, one thing that a lot of people may be like, bruh, these old women don't get it. I want you to understand that the last one was a 24-year-old woman. The one before that was 23-year-old. That 23-year-old was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I need you older women who are in my comment section, always fussing and complaining, to understand that the younger women look at your way you talk and interact, and they don't want to be you. Younger women are like, I don't want to be none of this. And you know what? Instead of the older women looking and seeing that they're not connecting to the younger women, because they don't respect anything. Monday, when I do this broadcast talking about this queen energy, crazy. But like I said, I should be able to walk up to a woman like old girl and have a good time. But instead, I got to deal with a lot of bullshit. I got to deal with a lot of expectations, a lot of demands, and then I want you to understand that they don't want me to go out or do anything with anybody else. Now, she got 3 kids and a whole job. Remember that other day when I talked to that other woman? At best, you're going to have between couple hours a day. So, to become the men that these men have to become, they get a part of a woman. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, I started late, so we're going to do a little overtime. Add you on the call. I don't know who you are. I'll add you on the call. I don't know who you are. And then what do I hear? You're just disrespectful. You hate your mother. Okay, well. What's the solution? The solution is date down, but understand. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, how old are you?
I'm 25.
What's the question?
My question is, at 25, what do you think a young lady like myself should be doing?
That's too broad of a question, young lady. I got a specific topic tonight, so unfortunately, I can't handle that right now. It's just too broad.
Okay.
Thank you. I think a lot of women were confused as why we don't date them. I mean, you can even hear it when you talk to them. Now, I want you to understand, what did she say? And they're also lazy daters. A king can make a woman a queen can only make a man marry. I'm telling you, man, when I go on dating sites, you expect to find professional men on a dating site, but you got time to kick it with a with a man. See what she did. Appreciate it, Luke Hazley. What she did is she thought getting that career was gonna do something. She thought getting that career was gonna get her an upgrade in a man. You know, when she got with her ex-husband, he was fine. But then she got her bachelor's and she thought she was something. Started looking down on her husband. Then she got her master's. She really started looking down on him. Then got a double master's and she was done. This is the same woman talking about I could settle, I could get with an average man. You couldn't even be with your husband. I'll never chase a man, even if. Hold on. I want you guys to hear this. She said, I'll never chase a man, even at 51. I'm going to be on. Hold on. Oh. I want you guys to understand something. Okay. Come on then. I'll never chase a man, even at 51. Come on, Melissa. You have to get on camera. You must get on camera. There we go. Mm-hmm.
You want to see me?
Oh yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. It's required.
Yeah, I got three men right now.
Hold on. Slow down. Let's do this in an orderly fashion.
Okay.
I need you to get in some light though. I can't see you.
Oh, you want to see the light? Let me.
Well, yeah, ma'am. I'm running a broadcast, so people need to see who I'm talking to. That's only fair to the audience. It's only fair to the audience that they can see who I'm dialoguing with. I think one of the interesting things is many women today. All right. You ready?
I think so.
All right. How old are you?
51.
All right. And so you're saying you're 51 and you'll never chase a man?
Never had to. I have three men right now.
How are you? Have you been married or are you single?
I was married.
So are you single now?
Yep.
How many? Any children?
I have 20-year-old is my youngest.
Okay. And what kind of a relationship would you like to have with a man?
Honest. Single.
The nature of the relationship, the classification.
And companionship.
YouTube, hit the like button or the chat room goes off. So not marriage?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind marriage. I wouldn't mind.
So you're just out to have fun.
No, I'm not looking for fun. I'm looking for
Stable boyfriend.
marriage in the future.
That's why I asked you what kind of relationship do you want?
Because,
No?
I would like to be married. But
No, I don't.
If it works for both of us.
Okay, but you won't chase a man. Why? What does that mean, chase a man?
Oh, because
What does that mean? What-
it sounds like you're saying that older women don't have a choice.
No, you really don't. I mean, y'all talk a good game, but when it really shows up in the numbers is, I look at the kind of men that you ladies say you have on deck, and I have a hard time believing that you or any woman have one, let alone three men that they respect, admire, that other men respect and admire, that are seriously vetting them for a relationship, especially marriage.
I think I don't know. I just think it's right now. It's hard to get
So why do you, what did I say? I said, I don't, so if I put you in a room with good quality men, are you prepared to chase them?
Yeah, I would if I felt they would be good quality.
Well then, but you just said you never chase a man.
Well, I don't know. I just don't feel like I have to chase.
Well, you can always find easy sex. Any woman can do that.
Yeah.
But you can't find, this is what I said. When you women talk about stuff, y'all talk about men in the ways of y'all are just the shit. I got 3 men that are, yeah, but you don't have 3 men that you value, respect, and admire, who vet you for marriage. You got 3 men trying to smash. I mean, so what?
I know, that's the problem. That's what I don't want.
But why is it a problem?
Why? Because I don't want to. What? Because I don't want to just have people like to smash.
Okay, but when I asked you what was the classification of the relationship, you just.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So if that's all you bring, that's all that's on the table. I mean, see, the problem is a lot of women my age, y'all just don't want to put any kind of commitments out there.
Yeah.
All right, well then you get offered dick. I mean, no offense, but that's what you get offered, and you don't have to chase that. Then you're right. You don't have to chase sex, but you do have to actually chase. You do have to chase a man's ring. Have a good one. Okay, that's clear. Yeah, always question what women say, man, when they talk about, all these men they got on deck and everything else. You're right. Who are these men? Women don't turn down proposals from men they respect and admire. They don't turn down proposals from men like that. They don't turn, Elon Musk needs to acquire Kevin, right? They don't turn down men like that, right? Women, all the stuff that women say they don't do goes right out of the window when they are in the presence of a man they respect and admire. All the things they don't do become do's. All right, so I will bring a couple more people on because we are in overtime. Do you guys want overtime? If you guys want overtime on YouTube, I'm gonna need 500 more likes. Hey, Elizabeth, let's bring Elizabeth on. This is a good conversation because I think a lot of women over 35 really don't understand.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you in the car right now?
Yeah, I'm in the car.
Yeah. You got something going on. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh yeah, too young for this one. No offense, but I'm not gonna. It's not the young stuff tonight. So, and why I'm not gonna do that is because here's why this is so important. All right, you guys want overtime? Cool. Let me hit the intermission for just a second, and I'll be right back. We're gonna take a slight commercial break. We will be right back. All right, understand, okay, that it's not as though older men over 40, culturally and from a life standpoint, we have more in common with women our own age. But we also grew up with these women. We know them. They, however, don't know us. They're just now getting to know the men that are on the dating market. Okay? So you got to ask yourself, why, if you're a good woman, why are you still on the market right now? Huh? If you're a good woman, why are you still on the market right now? That's the point. If you're a good woman, why are you still on the market? Hello?
Blessings. Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm happy and full of gratitude. How are you?
How old are you?
51. I just turned 51 in January.
Okay. And where are you from?
I live in Houston.
All right. So we're talking about dating and the whole thing that goes along with older women just being too hard to date. What do you think?
I think that's accurate.
Okay. Why? Why would women still be this difficult to get along with so little life left?
Because of, I think most, especially category, we learned from other women misinformed, and that's why.
Do you have on Bluetooth?
Me?
You have okay. Yeah. Somebody is giving me a background noise. Hello, how are you doing that just joined? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 34.
All right. So you saying the women gave you bad information. This 34-year-old, I'm talking about older women are just too hard to deal with. What do you think?
I agree somewhat, but I just want to come on and maybe shed some positive light that there are some habits that have probably been carried over, but they don't stay that way. I think I kind of agree with what she just said, is that some things were learned behaviors, and I think like it triggers a hardness in some women. But I think that some people have learned from it, and not every 34-year-old woman's like that. There are some of us that know how to be cooperative, communicate, listen, and all those things.
But okay. Let me tell you what men hear when women say that. Where's your husband? Because that's how we judge. Because I hear women say that all the time, and they got no man. So basically you're telling me that there are women out here who know and do what you're talking about. Then where's the result?
I can't speak for those women. I can only speak for myself. My results, I think they're coming. My last situation, he was the first man to tell me that I was too aggressive and I was too hard. And I took that and I heard it and I listened to it.
Okay.
And I'm working on it. So that's all I can really say. But I think that there are women that are receptive to the information.
I think that, but here's what I want you to focus on that. Receptive to the information, I'm concerned about the sense of urgency and how fast women are moving.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Because, I mean, I don't know, maybe one of you ladies can explain to me, why does it make women seem to feel better? Because you can say not all or some women do X, Y, Z, when that ain't what we're talking about and you ain't seeing that.
I mean, I don't think it makes me feel better. I mean, at the end of the day, my focus is on me and the man that I'm going to find. So I know that I'm doing my job, and I know that the process is working with me. I just wanted to come up because, like I said, the title is Older Women Are Mad, and not every older woman is like that.
Whoever said, okay, well, see, that's not all, ma'am. I don't care that not all. Does it matter not all of them? But there are enough of them to where you ain't married. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's true. It matters to me.
But why? Why? So you want to challenge the title when we got the results to prove that whatever it is, it ain't working.
I didn't want to challenge the title. I just wanted to say that it's not all women.
Who cares if it's not all? It's enough.
Can I finish what I was saying?
No, you can't. because it doesn't matter, ma'am. Okay, look, no, that's not how that works. I don't want you ladies coming on here telling me how to fuck to title my shows and everything else. Well, Kevin, not all. It's called Not All Women Are Like That. No walls. And what you just saw, folks, was a woman who says, I'm not like that. Oh, ma'am, you're like that. It's called sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Gonna still hammer that point. Sorry about that. You're 50, how old again?
I'm 51. I turned 51 in January.
Congratulations. So, yeah, a lot of people were giving the wrong information. Men were giving the wrong information too. But we ain't got a lot of time left in our generation. So when are the women gonna start doing something different? Go ahead.
Well, I was saying something when she came up, but what I was going to say is we learn about men from other women who have relationships that affect and influence what they tell us. So we keep repeating it. So what I decided to do is I dedicated many years of just listening, and even if it upset me, even if I didn't agree or I felt like I wanted to interrupt, I made myself be quiet and let the brother finish saying what he was saying so I could really understand what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And more, and it helped me know what I'm really doing to contribute to the problems that I have with men.
Okay.
So my sister's spending more time listening, not saying listen to him because he's right, and I'm just saying listen. If you don't agree, it won't hurt you to listen.
Right.
You don't know what you're disagreeing with, and I learned a lot from that. And I try to encourage women that I'm around all the time, and I have a reputation for that. And I've been called a female simp because of it, but I know that it's the truth. It doesn't feel good because nobody told us that, and it doesn't feel good hearing it the way that you say it. But I actually agree on a lot of things, and I've lost some friends because of it. But it's the truth. Maybe not everything that you say, but a lot of things.
Nothing that everybody says is going to be the truth, but I think women get a lot of focused on trying to make sure that, that wasn't exactly accurate, like the last woman. I just wanted to correct you. Men don't want to be correct. Just move on. And that would be about much easier than the kind of stuff that just happened. So what I want to ask is, what do you think relationships are going to look like for Generation X? Because it obviously doesn't look like marriage. What are we going to look like in the next 10 years? Because we're in our 50s now, but 60 years around the corner. What's it going to look like for us?
Well, I know you're not going to agree with this, but I really believe in what you think about, you bring about. What you speak about is what you experience. So I keep speaking that I'll see brown people living in love and loving themselves first so they can love each other, and then they're going to see the world reflect that back to
Okay, but tell me what that looks like from a practical neighborhood standpoint.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it, okay? What I believe is very realistic that we can wake up tomorrow and money is not worth shit. So then what do we value? It can't be about generational wealth anymore. We can't be looking at a man because of how much money he makes. What's going to be most important then is what really matters about men, their masculinity, the fact that the way that they're built. The fact that
Okay, so I get you believe that, but your thing and my thing are different. So we're on my thing right now. I'm asking, what does the neighborhood look like? Right now, it looks like you live in your house, I live in my house. Right? What is it going to look like 10 years from now? Are we going to see more? How's the neighborhood? Are we going to see men and women living together? Men and women going to be married? We're going to see women living together? What does it look like practically?
it looks exactly like that.
No, which one is it? Those are three different things.
Strong families staying together. It looks like people who don't need to be married.
I said Generation X. Let me clarify again. I'm not talking about the black community. I'm talking about Generation X, 41 to 55. As we continue to age, what do our relationships look like?
What I'm saying is what I'm speaking at how I want it to be. So I'm not speaking something. I don't live that way. So I'm not.
Do that on your platform. Go talk about namaste, Well, no way I think I can come over here and do that shit, man. I keep asking you the question the way I'm asking you. Well, I don't speak it into existence. Tell you something else, man. Black men are tired of how these hippie, dippy, older women. Yeah, it was fun to have. Yeah, it was cool to have fun when we was kids. Hello. Let's ask the question: what do relationships look like? And see, what Generation X and older women refuse to do is they refuse to get out of their own fucking way and just do what we did when we was kids and pretend, imagine, and say 15 years from now, what does it look like? Because they know what it looks like is a much more likely you're going to have a bunch of older 60 plus year old black women living alone. And after 65 and you hit retirement, what's it going to look like? You still working. You're still working because you didn't have enough money to retire on. Most women are going to still be working after 65. You're going to be working until you cannot walk because you didn't have enough money. This is one of these arguments that I'm gonna put on there. You said that women ain't gonna have enough money, and that's not the way it is. And you just the truth is what it is. They don't want to deal with it. That the likelihood of not having enough money is freaking them out. And I'm saying you would rather live by yourself. Wouldn't it be easier to live with a man? At least you got two incomes. But no, that's not what they think. Not what they think. And you wonder, and the funny thing is, I think these broadcasts are so good, especially for the younger people, so you can understand why your auntie, why Nene and them ain't married. Because so many millennials and Gen Z wonder, why? She seemed like a nice woman at 45. How come she still keeps herself together? Why can't she find a man? This is why. You either got the hippy dippy artsy person or the career chick. Ladies, listen and listen good. You better start making some deals. Better start going through your neighborhood and seeing where the single black men of my age be like, excuse me, Roger? Yeah, I need to talk to you. Okay, look here, man. Why don't we get together and do this last 20 years, 30 years together? We ain't got to get married, but we do need to shack up. We need to be boyfriend and girlfriend, elder boyfriend and girlfriend. And then what we do, we live together, we split the bills, and we are roommates. And then, because another thing, you better make sure you understand something. These women aren't living sexless lives. You better start making a deal, because in the 70s and 80s, some of the saddest things to see were women who were 60 plus years old living by themselves. We had to always go check on them in the summertime to make sure that the air conditioner was on, to make sure they had enough water, to make sure that they was, because when you get older, we had to go check. Wellness checks and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. You ain't got no family. What are y'all talking about? I don't want to talk about it, because if we talk about it or speak it into existence, get the fuck out of here. It's already into existence. Talking about it is going to help it. It's not going to hurt it. But I want y'all to understand that these women really think this shit. Let's think about it. Anybody, let's see on YouTube. These all broads are the worst. Boy, you better believe it. You better believe it. The worst. And I think it's so important to where you understand why Generation X men and Generation X women are not together, and why Generation X men are either with younger women or getting passport to something, because you cannot work. It is hard to work with a rank and file 40-year-old plus woman. You know how your auntie is. You know how your mama is. You know how she is. And see, so what's the solution, Kevin? Well, here's a solution. Here's an option, not a solution. Here's an option. If you are like the 52-year-old that I talked to, you just give up. You get off of Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, all the apps. You turn in your single card. You make peace with the fact that you are going to not have a man. Then you make yourself available to the families in your community, and you become they play grandmother. Oh, Miss Anna, that's my play grandmother or my play auntie. You become the babysitter. You develop relationships with the families, and you be the play grandma and whatever. And your only responsibility is to impart wisdom to the girls. Don't be like play grandma. Go to school, but make sure you learn how to understand what men want, so you can get you a husband and a family and this and that. Yeah, you can't. But see, the thing is, I don't want to tip my hand. The reason they don't want to do that is they don't want to quit. They want to stay in the game. They're like a bunch of fucking degenerate gamblers. They're like a bunch of fucking degenerate gamblers. Get off my chat. Get off my page, chick. Let me tell you something. You bunch of degenerate gamblers. Oh, look at this. A woman with a blonde weave asking me a question. Oh, I will make you famous. I'm gonna teach you ladies about coming over here acting a fool. Let's do this then, since you decide you want to type that in my comment section. Let's do this, shall we? You're giving horrible advice. Right. I've already had too many women on here say thank you. I'm giving advice horrible for you ratchets, and for you rebels, and for you 304s. Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak, though. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you want to act a fool with me. I'm going to be honest, I don't think you want to act a fool with me, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to clear up what you just said. But I don't think you want to do that. For real? Yeah, that's what I thought. You chimed in. Come to the front of the class. Do 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 do. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Look at, they are triggered like a mug. You said, who can you give advice? Why are you triggered? I don't mind triggering these old birds. I don't mind triggering them. I don't mind. Oh, just mad. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get you up out of here. So, I want you to understand that all the women that come through here talking shit are mad triggered. Where's your wife? My ex-wife thinks y'all a bunch of crazies. They think they're like, ooh, what's wrong with these folks? Don't worry about it. So, they don't want to give up. Like a bunch of degenerate gamblers sitting there at the table. The next one's going to be my hand. Remember Ashley Larry on the Chappelle Show? Oh, my girl gonna kill me. A bunch of damn degenerate gamblers. And then what you gonna do? Oh, my. Be mad because you know, and I know, and you know that I know that you know, and I know that you know that I know, that you done screwed this up. Instead of just taking the high road out, it's like, well, I'm gonna be cool. I still think I can be in the game. I still think I can do it. Okay. You know? And the notion that hope springs eternal is a big deal with a lot of folks. You know, hope springs eternal. You don't want to tell anybody they can't do anything. Okay. Well, if that's the case, cool. But I don't think hope springs eternal. I really don't. I don't think hope springs eternal, and I don't think it's wise to sit back and just tell women that, you know, they don't ever have to hang it up. You got women who want to be like men. This is why there's so many women are mad at Al Pacino right now. See, the reality is, gentlemen, pop your collars. Come on, gentlemen, pop your collars. As long as you are productive, competitive man, you can date. As long as you keep yourself relatively fit, you can date until you die. Al Pacino is 82 years old. 82. And got a 28-year-old girlfriend. Ric Flair, 74, with a 27-year-old girlfriend. And women are livid. You don't see no 82-year-old women with nobody. Gentlemen, we get ours at the end. And that's why they are so mad at me. Because, well, who are you? Had a date. I don't date angry women. The women I deal with laugh at y'all. They're like, man, why are they getting so mad? Well, they get mad because, you know, you got sense. You're fun to date. You're fun to be around. They're not. It's like, well, why do they even watch? Because it's either watch or turn off the TV or turn off the internet and be in that house listening to that damn smoke detector. Beep, beep, beep. You would think the smart thing to do would be to try to get along and try to learn something. You would think that's what they would do, but no. Gentlemen, as long as you keep yourself active, productive, you can get out there. They can't. And it's not your fault. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you? 32. All right. So we're in overtime right now. Did you have a question? We're talking about older women and dating right now. And some of the older women are mad. Do you have a question?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. So why'd you want to join?
I don't know. I wanted to join because I had questions at first, but I clicked off and I clicked back on, so I didn't know what you had.
Oh, okay. No problem. Have a good one. See, My biggest cohort of detractors are Generation X black women. And I tell you why. It's because they're the women in media. They're the women who have platforms. They're the women who have a voice. And they've been used to being in charge and being able to say what they want our entire life. And in the last couple of years, there's been a little bit of pushback, and you would swear that it's the worst thing in the world. And it's just so funny because you just see these women don't want to give up power. They don't want to give up anything. And it's like, just go on over there and leave people alone. And the difference is Generation X women, older women over 30, they don't leave people alone. We over here having fun, and here they come. Butting in. What y'all doing? It's like, wait a minute. We're over here having fun. That ain't how y'all supposed to do this. Always trying to come over to somebody's house. Oh, it's date night. Oh, okay. Showing up unannounced with pot roast and shit. Like, well, wait a minute. Why your sister always coming over here? We got date night. Well, she don't have nobody, and I feel bad for her. We'll let her pot roast selling ass on somewhere, because all they would have to do is be fun to be around. But no, it's not fun to be around. You act like a bunch of harpies. You got bad mouths. And the funny thing is, you got all these standards. And I look at some of these memes, talk about the women in here talking about they ain't gonna settle, be built like this or that. And I'm like, dang, do y'all not see that people understand what's going on now? But all you know how to do is talk shit and fight. It's because that is their dating life. They can't date. They can't get married. That's out. Most will never get married. They can't get a man that they respect and admire, so they can't get a boyfriend. They can't date a man they respect and admire. So they're stuck with having to just hook up with whomever, old flames, recycling people, getting on there doing one-night Tinder stands until that makes them feel a certain kind of way. And they're like, well, damn, all I'm doing is just being they start looking around like, dang, the work that I would need to do to become somebody that somebody would get along with. And understand, just get along. All that men are asking women to do is be friendly, cooperative, submissive, and to just be enjoyable. But for far too many, it's a bridge too far. And they're seeing men over 40 date. And there's a jealousy involved. And the thing is, it's like, ladies, why don't you just become somebody, why don't you just act like somebody that they want to date? There really is no reason that older women should be getting so outclassed by women half their age. Y'all should be winning. You should be winning. But that's up to you. All right, I'm gonna take a few more calls and we're gonna be out of here because I got started late. Oh no, we don't need to get the old women straight. They see what millennials and zennials need to understand is.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What a pleasure.
Oh, you kind of just froze on me.
For today. Can you hear me?
You froze now, but how are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited that you
All right, how old are you?
I am 26.
All right, well, we're talking about older women are mad about this dating situation.
Well, listen, I'm single, and can you see me and hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I can't see myself. Okay, well, for any reason. You know, I have a hard time finding a good man right now. Like,
Did you hear what I did? You hear what I did? You hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
what you say?
Well, I told you about the topic, and you just jumped into what you want to talk about,
Oh, excuse me.
and then you're gonna say you're having a hard time finding a good man. I let you do that for a reason. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, well, I'll tell you about myself. I am single.
Hmm.
I am a homeowner. I have no children. I'm 26.
Okay.
I believe I'm attractive. I believe I'm friendly. I'm nice. So I don't know why I don't got this ring yet.
What's wrong? What's some of your flaws?
Well, I am submissive, but I'm not going to submit to just any man. Like, I need stability. I don't, and, you know, at my age now, I'm 26.
Okay. What are some of your flaws?
My flaws would be, well, shit, I don't know. I'm telling you about my stuff.
I know. You told me about your positives. Tell me about some of your negatives. Tell me something about some of your flaws.
I don't know. I guess that someone who's dating me would be able to tell you what my flaws are.
Mm-mm. You should be able to tell me what your flaws are.
I'm not perfect, but I can't just point out anything that's wrong for me.
That's part of the problem, right? That's part of the problem right there.
That's my flaw.
I just said part of the problem. I mean, you're not perfect, but you can't tell me your flaws. But you told me everything that you think sells you. Okay, cool. What are your flaws? You can't name one thing?
I'm being honest. I feel like someone who may be experienced with me can tell you what my flaws might be.
You're experienced with you.
I am experienced with me. But I feel like, well, shit, what am I saying, actually?
Exactly.
What happened?
Your internet is just on you, not me. You're doing something with the phone, and I mean,
No.
you're going into a job interview.
I'm trying to get it. I can see myself now.
You're going on a job interview, and you're telling me everything that's good. And they say, all right, well, tell me some of the things you need work on. Nothing. I'm perfect. Oh, I'm not perfect, but there's nothing I need work on. Yeah, but man,
No, my problem is I will not submit to just anyone.
nope, that's not a flaw. That's a veiled positive. Nope, that's not a flaw. It's not a flaw. That's a veiled positive. See, in the job interview, what that question is tell me your strengths. All right, here's what it is. Tell me your weaknesses. Well, one of my weaknesses is people tell me that I tend to be overworked, but I'm a hard worker, and I just want to do a good job. No, see, that's a veiled positive. At 26 years old, you know you. You should know you. You should know you well enough to know if you're not Stop. No. See, that's another one. I've already pointed it out to you initially. Don't do it again. You're not going to talk over me or none of that stuff because you should know things that you need to improve upon.
So what I'm saying is, what I had conflict with relationships is submission. Now, I am so willing to submit Okay, I'm a very naturally submissive person, but I cannot submit to a man who just doesn't have it there together.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
So I'm argumentative.
No, hold on. He doesn't have it there together. What does that mean?
So for me, what that means is you ain't got your shit together.
What does that mean?
Straight up. You ain't got your shit together.
I don't know what that means.
So,
I don't know what that means. It still has no
what
context.
that means is you don't have stability. Okay? You don't have stability. You don't have a home of your own. You have a roommate. Your brother lives in the next room. Okay? You living with your brother. Your bro.
These are men you've dated?
These are men that I have dated, yes.
You had a relationship with them?
Yes.
Did it get to the intimate level?
Yes.
So you'll date a man, have sex with a man, but you don't submit to a man.
I do, but I feel like
But why are you having sex with a man who doesn't have his shit together? You knew that before you did all that.
sometimes
No. What I'm pointing out is you date men. We all pick who we date.
But can I answer your question?
Well, you've already answered it. You picked
I
the.
didn't.
Yeah, you have. No. I didn't. No.
Sex with someone who doesn't have a shit together. So let me answer it, please.
No. You pick the man you date.
So you asked me a question.
You pick the man you date. That's
not
the.
fair. So listen.
Hold on, no, there's no listen, no. See, this is the way this is gonna go. This is the way this is going. This is the way this is going. This is the way this is going to go. It's going to go this way, because I'm trying to run this show. I know the questions I'm asking. It's not about being fair. I don't need to know. I don't need. Okay, look here, lady. You're about to. It's about to end up really bad. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you really want to do that, because you come on here trying to get some information to find out something. And I asked you what your flaws are. You already shown that you're not introspective enough to even understand what's going on. You said the problem is I can't submit to a man who don't have his shit together. But you chose to date somebody who didn't have his shit together. You chose to have sex with somebody who didn't have his shit together. So you can't say I'm not going to submit to somebody that I chose.
But also, at the same time, you didn't let me answer your question, which I would really love to, and also not only for you, but for the audience.
I'm okay with the audience.
Can I please answer the question? I'm trying to submit to you right now and answer the question. So, what I was saying, sometimes as humans, we connect with people, okay? Like on a vibe. We call it vibes now. You catch the vibe, and sometimes you might really have a certain vibe come up with so strong.
I'll make you famous.
That he might so he might be there on that level of connection and chemistry. But he has shit that he needs to get together, and I might be a step above where he's at. Okay. So I'm a homeowner, I have cars, I have a good career, and me and him connect with personalities and the chemistry and the sex, okay? But he is not where I would like him to be, maybe financially. What's that mean? Time out?
Yeah. Because everything you just said, I don't know what you think. If you can have your cars and everything, men don't care about any of that. My question is this. Why can't you deal with a man? Why can't you pick a man who has his shit together up front?
I can. That's what I go for. But like,
Why can't you get a man who has his shit together up front?
I do. I have a lot of options. I mean, I'm dating.
Ma'am, I asked you about your flaws or areas of weakness, and you said, I can't submit to a man who's don't have his shit together. And all you did is basically explain the fact that if you can get with a man who ain't got his shit together, you got time to get with a man who does have his shit together. The question is, will he pick you?
I'm picking who I vibe with, and the niggas I vibe with be the broke ones. They be who I vibe and connect with on a chemistry level. They don't be there. They don't match up as of right now. They're not connecting. They're not there.
What makes you think a man who's there wants to connect with a woman who calls men niggas and talks about vibes?
You're right. You're right. I need to work on my language.
That's what you got from that? That's what you got from that?
Yes. I needed to hear that. Yes.
So in other words, men who are at that level, would they pick you?
You're right. And I appreciate this.
What does it matter? So someone has to have a home for you to submit to them?
I would like an independent, stable person.
Stable meaning what?
Stable meaning they have their own home, they have their own vehicle, they can afford a meal. They're not on assistance. That is.
You mean an adult?
stability.
That sounds like an average adult.
Yeah, I would like.
But ma'am, let's cut to the chase. You're trying to say that you want somebody who's stable, but you described what we call a luxury lifestyle. You own several cars. Right? You said I own my home, right?
I am a homeowner.
Okay, you're paying for it, or do you own the home?
I own the home.
Where did you go to school?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Where? What university?
Cleveland State.
What's your degree in?
Business.
Business what?
Business administration.
And what year did you graduate?
17.
17? What's your career?
I'm doing a little bit of everything.
What's your career or your profession?
Well, I run 2 different bars right now. General manager at 2 different bars. And I make good money.
You run 2 bars?
I do.
How long have you been? You're a general manager at 2 bars.
Yes.
And you graduated with a business what degree?
Administration.
What kind of car do you own?
It's a Jeep.
What's
a
the-
Jeep Compass.
What's the other one?
I also have a Nissan Rogue.
And you own the house outright.
I own my house. I bought it when I was 24. And I'm 26.
Where'd the money come from?
My jobs. I bartend, and I also am the general manager.
You graduated in 2017, so that was at most you've been out of school for 4 or 5 years. You made enough money, and
My credit is good.
good credit, but you made enough money to buy a home in a 2-year period.
Yes. Is that shocking?
If you say you own the deed, yeah.
Really? I mean, do you think I'm lying or something?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm asking you. Excuse me. Whoa. No, so you don't see when you hear me talking. Due respect, ma'am, you're supposed to stop. You can't. I don't know why women think you're gonna talk over a man or through a man. See, if men were to do that, it will come down to a fight.
Really? A fight? A physical fight or?
Yes, because you're trying to overtalk someone. That means you're trying to dominate a conversation. Why do you think that's acceptable to try to overtalk a man? Because you heard me talking. And you're laughing, but again, you're the one.
Because it's comical to me.
I bet you'll see it on the replay. It's comical to you to think that you dating men who can't get their shit together. But look at the way you talk and the way you're acting. And I ask you, can you get with a man at that level? Because this aggressive kind of domineering behavior.
Am I being aggressive?
What do you think? Do you think your voice is bigger than mine? Is it deeper than mine? Then why are you trying to overtalk me when I speak? But when I talk, you still trying to raise your voice and get higher.
Well, I'm a woman, and my voice can definitely.
You're a female. You're a female. You're female. I'll give you that one. And the issue is, again, ma'am,
Oh,
I don't know you, but I'm telling you,
So I'm not a woman. I'm a female.
you're woman, female, lady, different things. But what I'm telling you is, what I'm seeing is, you said it yourself. Men have told you you're aggressive.
They told me that I am what?
Aggressive.
No.
That's what you said earlier. But in any event, the issue that I'm saying, like anybody else is saying, is you don't even know what's going on with you.
So what would you suggest for me?
Therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy. We attract what we are.
We attract who we are.
Yeah, due respect your money and everything else, that matters not to us.
So what do you suggest that I change or that I do to get a man that I deserve and that who also deserves me?
What do you mean? What do you mean a man that you? What do you mean a man that you deserve?
What do I mean by a man that I deserve?
Hmm?
A good man. What I'm asking is, based off of what you've heard from me and what I provided the information about me, what do you think that I need to do in order for me to be satisfied in a good relationship? What do you think that I need to do, or what do I need to change about myself?
How tall are you?
Huh?
Tall are you?
How old am
How
I?
tall are you?
I am 5'4" and I weigh 200 pounds, so I'm thick.
That's not thick. That's obese.
Okay.
I'm 6'4" and you weigh as much as me. That's not thick. It's obese.
You want my measurements?
I don't care. It's obese. More than a 30 BMI is obese, ma'am. 5'4", 200 pounds is larger than the average running back. Height, weight adjusted.
Running back?
I said 5'4", 200 pounds is larger than the average running back. Height, weight adjusted.
Okay.
And calling it thick is a problem. I'll tell you why it's a problem, because it's unhealthy. That's number one. Number two, when you say deserve, what do you want to be married?
Yes.
You want
I
children?
don't have children.
I said, do you want children?
Yes. I
How-
want to plan them with my husband.
How many kids would you like to have? How many kids would you like to have?
I definitely believe that I am a boy mom, so I would like one son. But my max would be 3 kids.
How many kids would you like to have?
3 would be my max.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're married and pregnant with the first kid?
I would like to be a stay-at-home mom.
What'd your mother do for a living?
My mother is a nurse.
What'd your father do for a living?
My father was never involved.
Okay. What'd your grandmother do for a living?
She was also a nurse.
What'd your grandfather do for a living?
He was not involved either.
Were you raised to be a stay-at-home wife?
I'm sorry?
Were you raised to be a wife?
Well, what it sounds like is, it sounds, from what I just said, it sounds like I was raised to be a single mother, but that's not what I want.
That's not what I asked. I asked, were you raised to be a wife?
Yes, I mean, my mom definitely raised me and my sister to be women, you know, respectful women. She raised us as ladies, young ladies.
I said a wife.
Yes, I was raised to be a wife. Yes. Do you disagree?
I'm asking questions, ma'am. You said your mom wasn't a wife, but she raised you to be a wife. How did she raise you to be a wife? What did she tell you, train you, show you that you needed to do for a man?
Well, she definitely taught us how to take care of ourselves as women. And she definitely taught us how to take care of a home. I would say she definitely raised us to be independent women. And it was never, you know.
That, ma'am, the question I asked is, what did your mother raise you, teach you, train you to do for a
I'm
man?
answering it. I mean,
Young lady, I don't know who you're dealing with. I'm really trying with you. But I will tell you this the last time. It's going to end real bad if you keep doing that.
why?
Because I don't play that.
You don't play what?
This
don't
little,
play that.
don't, when I ask and I say something, that's what it is. And you're going to talk, if I may, no, I'm asking. At the end of the day, ma'am, you're not answering the questions. You weren't raised to be a wife. You were raised to be an independent woman. Fine. But then you want to be a housewife. But you weren't raised to be a wife, let alone a housewife.
So what was I raised to be?
What you are.
Which is an independent woman.
An independent modern woman.
So I cannot be a wife? I can't be a housewife?
No.
Why is that?
Because the men who can afford housewives want housewives. They don't want independent women. See, men who can afford to have a housewife get to pick. And they want women who were raised to know what to do for a man.
Okay.
So you can want it, but you got to get a man who can provide it.
So I was
You have to get a man to, you can want it, but it doesn't matter if you can't get a man who can provide it, who wants to give it to you.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think, in your opinion, that I am someone who cannot be a housewife based upon what I told you?
I've already answered that question, yes.
I can be,
No,
in your opinion?
no.
And why is that?
For the second and the last time, who gets to pick? Men or women? Who gets to pick? You're talking about being a housewife. That means not working. That means a man would have to be able to provide for you and 3 kids, the lifestyle that you're talking about. How much money would a man need to make? How much would a man need to make? How much would...
I just recognize you're not answering my question.
All right, get the fuck off my show. This is what I want you to know. These big, loudmouth, aggressive, they get mad because they can't have what they want. No. Housewife. You're a jump off. Side chick. At best. And then when you sit there and try to talk to them, have a conversation where you don't tell them what they want to hear. Now remember, audience, came through the door, blah, 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 blah. No, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Go right to what I want. All right, let me just try to do this. That was rude, but it's all right. All right, here's your resume. I got a house, I got a car, I got this, I got that. Okay, this is what I demand. All right, what are your flaws? Flaws? Me? Flaws? I got a house and 2 cars. And eyelashes and a wig. Flaws? Yeah, flaws. What do you need to improve on? I ain't gonna submit, but then that's only cause they ain't on their shit. Didn't you pick them? Yeah. Did you have sex with them? Yeah. You didn't know that before you had sex with them? Well, we're human. And sometimes you pick and go around and the other side of the moon, and sometimes the vibe, the vibe just be getting you. The vibes and the chemistry be getting you. The vibes and the chemistry just be getting you. Oh, okay. All right. So the vibes and the chemistry just be getting you, right?
From the streets, I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got. I get that money.
Yeah, the vibes just be getting you. The vibes and the chemistry just be getting you. So when the vibes and the chemistry jump up on you, you just got to go ahead and get it in.
Emotional, damn it.
When the vibes and the chemistry be getting you, boy, you just got to go ahead and bust it all open. All right, well, you got your vibes and your chemistry. Okay, cool. All right, then what else? Well, I want what I deserve. What do you deserve? What do you mean what I deserve? You know what I deserve. What? I deserve to be taken care of. And my 5 foot 200-pound self. What? You trying to say I'm fat? You want to see my measurements? No. Was your mama a housewife? Nope. Was your grandmother a housewife? Nope. What'd your mother raise you to do for a man? She raised me to go to school, get a job, be an independent woman. Okay? You saying I can't be a housewife? Not to the kind of caliber man you want. Why? Because the men who get to pick want a woman who's a housewife. You saying I can't be one? You can want it. But why can't I be one? You weren't raised to be one. You don't know what your flaws are. You don't seem the least bit introspective. Kind of manipulative. Rather aggressive. Price is too high. Oh, now I understand why I don't like you.
Winter is coming.
You cannot make this shit up, boy. I swear to God, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. And then you're the one with the issues. Well, gentlemen, ladies, you know how that one goes. How that one ends. Buy 2. Not just one, buy 2 of them. Do I want to see your measurements? And all joking aside, though, see, why my guys find that particularly offensive is because modern women were raised to think extremely highly of themselves. If you're a woman who lacks humility, grace, a sense of class and sophistication, empathy, all these things are innate, make a nice, feminine, cooperative woman. You a whole nigga out here. And that's why you said, I can't get a nigga with this shit together. That's what the kids say. You're a whole nigga out here. I think it's really sad that so many women have been taken with the idea of being a whole nigga out here. That ain't cute. And like I said, if I put you in a room with the kind of caliber of men that you were talking about, would they pick you? But as usual, when you say something, it's your fault. Well, I'll be that. I'll be that. Shout out to Sam Saylor. Shout out to, thank you for a classic over time. These chinks are wild, delusional, and crazy. Shout out to Miles. Look here, man. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. And at the end of the day, I said it, you have a lot to pick from in this. Like I said, this is also being streamed to YouTube. So you try to copy my shit, you will be getting a strike. I'll say this, man. The humility is gone from far too many women today. It's all about me, I. Monday, we're going to talk about me. We're going to talk about me on Monday. Young lady, whether you like it or not, you need to lose a whole lot of weight. A whole lot of weight for a healthy lifestyle. And anybody who wants to sit back and say that's harsh, I think it's funny that I'm the one that's supposed to hate black women, but the things that far too many of my critics and detractors say is that's the stuff that actually hurts black women. Telling them that you're fine the way you are. 5'4", 200 pounds. Not fine. It's unhealthy. And men look at women, especially from women when they want to get married, they're looking at a woman who can bear their children. You have to have some room to grow. But we just do this far too often. There's no way she has a deed to her home with a business. Thank you, man. That's why I'm like, I just say these women get up here and just lie. But clout is an addictive thing. See, some of these women get up here thinking they're going to get some clout. Attention and lifestyle, clout. And you really end up here looking crazy out here. I don't want you to look crazy. But if you choose to make yourself look crazy out here and it can be helpful to another woman, can say, you know what? In her, I see some of me. I didn't like the way that looked, so I'm going to change. That's what I want you, my critics and detractors, to focus on. Forget my tone. Forget what you think. Stop questioning my intentions. You don't know my intentions. I've told you what they are. Instead, focus on the 23-year-old and 24-year-old, the one that said, I'm much better in my relationship now since I started looking, and the other one saying, I don't want none of this outcome that I'm seeing with modern women. Unless you are demonstrating that you're getting a better outcome for the women you say you care so much about, shut up about what you think about me. It ain't about me. It's about the outcome. And reality is far too many of you just don't want nobody to say nothing because it is easier and more comfortable to let women stay stuck. Not now. And if women stay stuck, that means brothers who want a woman they're gonna have fewer to pick from. Let's ask a question on the way out the door. What if nothing changes? What does the black community look like in 50 years? Baby boomers gone. Generation X gone. The marital rate is going to drop below 25% if you take those two groups out. Today, the average black marriage is lasting 5 years. The out of wedlock birth rate, it continues to climb. What are we going to have? We'll have women, children, single men. And it's only going to continue to push, it will continue to push the demand of women to men at the top because you're going to want men progressively to have more and more. It is dangerous to have a bunch of single, unattached men who are locked out of the sexual marketplace. But I'm looking at the women right now. What does that neighborhood look like? You want to know what it looks like? Go out this weekend. And I want you to focus on when you see, I don't see groups, and here in Atlanta, it is rare for me to see groups of non-black women out as consistently as I see sisters. Even when I travel around the country, women are traveling in packs, eating, drinking, and socializing. But then they go home alone. And after 40, 45 years old, the reality really starts to sink in. It is time for, in my opinion, for Black America, Black women to make peace with what it is. We don't care. Today, stop worrying about why it is what it is. Why, who shot John, this, that. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to get into agreement with Houston is bad with Pax women? Oh, I know, man. Houston is ground zero. Houston is ground zero. How are you going to get into agreement with one man that you can be with for 30 plus years? Just gave me an idea. A new series. Yep. We need to start showing this stuff. Start showing women who are in the last third or 25% of life and start showing what it looks like. Because they'll write about it, but they won't talk about it. And we need to see it. Ladies, it's time to make a deal. A deal that you're going to stand by and stick by. Peace out, Graham. That you're going to stand by and stick by. Something you can work with. Stop worrying about what your single friends, what the women on the corner say. You better get you a man and split the bills. Oh, I don't want to go too far ahead of it. Monday, we're going to talk about Mimi. Next week is going to be an epic week, and we may even have a smoke week. May even have a smoke show at the end of the week because it's about time. And when I bring in the smoke show, I'm going to bring in people from Facebook. Because anyway, so if you want to join from Facebook, calls, be over there. Thank you guys for a great week. I appreciate everybody. I'm glad I can actually see the super chats a little bit better. Appreciate all the moderators. Got started a little bit late tonight, but you know how that be. Until the next time, I do not believe it can be reversed. We're a complete resetting of, well, maybe so. But I think we need to start talking about the finality because a community of single people, here's the thing. When you have a community of fractured families, single men, single women, you got men and women who are locked in to a cycle of continuing to be at the bottom, feeding everybody else. And that's not what I want. That's not what I want for Black men or for Black women. Contrary to popular opinion, if I didn't care about Black women, I wouldn't talk to you. I wouldn't even waste my time. I wouldn't risk your anger, your hostility, your roasting, your doxing, and this and that. The person who is willing to sit there and talk to you, and you think there's a bag, you only do it because of the bag. There is more money in selling out. There's more money in talking to other races of women. If you want to talk about money, if I wanted to make money, trust me, I know the formula to make money. And it ain't to continue to talk to women who don't want to listen. Till next time. Peace. We are gone.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the